He did it.
I don't think I thought the formative way to start was the do or something
Last
like that.
time on Dungeons and Dragons.
Do.
Last time on Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
After recovering from the fight with the demon that sort of took hold and manifested in the world as you attempted to revive and shove Hogar's soul back into his body, you guys decided to go back to Trusk, and when upon landing there, Oz and his wife then proceeded to leave, and you all said your goodbyes and thanked you for the small adventure that Oz went on. You went out into the city and attempted to find King Ulysses, which you ended up finding at the Crimson Clover, as well as a man who seemed to recognize Sweetie, but Sweetie quickly erased his memory with his newfound ring, or more accurately modified his memory, as Roku threw the warthog that had previously been befriended around.
It's a party pig now.
The party pig. After discussing Mima's living arrangements with Ulysses, you took a long rest, and then in the morning decided to go back to Lamach, where he introduced Gronk and more especially Hogar to the living semblance of Celestian that existed on the plane, the small star that manifested among the altar, which took Hogar on a bit of a journey and described to him a strange encounter or his experiences, and tasked him with putting an end to the tyrannous Krevaku. Not much was given about this Krevaku's intentions or what he's doing to affect the Celestian at all, but the name has been spoken before in reference to Roku's half-brother, other son of Cord. Upon that, you all left. Getting your bearings, you went back to sort of got everything together with Dante, who had recently disappeared and reappeared to discuss the goings on with the Raven Queen, and you were all very excited to get on your journey to Krevaku, or more accurately the entrance to the Mind Flayer residence under the water. But Dante made a very desperate plea for you all to instead investigate the goings on in Sarask due to the demons and Avandra, the goddess of luck, due to some sort of partnership that went on between them and the imminent undead threat that is in Sarask. So with that, you decided to recruit your friends to the south in Sko-Tua, the Fire Guard, as you snap and end up in a room that you do not recognize. And that is where we'll pick up today. As you all look around, you're in a moderately large stone room with a staircase descending in the middle, parting off to a left and right upper floor. But it seems a very elegant place, and you're not exactly sure where you ended up after the snap.
Left and right. Those are the only two exits from this room.
There's a left and right exit on the ground floor, as well as the staircase upwards that sprouts left and right as well. It seems to be a again, moderately large building.
You guys recognize this place?
Do we recognize this place?
Roll a history check.
Plus 15.
With a 15, its general shape and foundation is rather familiar to you for some reason, but this is not a place you're familiar with in a literal sense. Like, you don't feel you've been here before, but it looks similar to something you might have seen beforehand.
Is there a window?
Yes, there are many beautiful glass-stained windows that lead to the outdoors.
I'm gonna look out one.
You walk over to the side of the doorway, and even you have to go on your tiptoes a little bit to look in through the windows that are elevated off the ground slightly. And when you look outside, you are met with the very recognizable main town ship area of Sko-Tua. And as you piece it all together, you currently stand in the former residence of Sevni. And you fought in this very room back before it had burned down. And apparently, it is now rebuilt on its previous foundation.
So we are in the right place.
Yes. So, who
Seems
wants to be
they
the first
rebuilt.
to exit?
I will. I'm gonna go to the door. I'm assuming this was like formerly 70's office, where we first.
Judging
I
from
know.
your general, it doesn't have the same floor layout. So the office that previously resided is not there. So you can't really say that you were in his previous office, because now it is a very open general area. But
I'm gonna head to the door.
you're able to walk slightly outwards to the door. And as soon as you open it, you are met with that salt water in the air that is oh so familiar to you all, but not tied necessarily with pleasant memories, as the fun times you all had in Sko-Tua comes flooding back. Roku, you get a sort of familiar tinge in the hand and eye region as you sort of remember the events that unfolded, leading you to it.
Me chopping off my hand and gouging out my eye.
Yes, those events.
Wasn't pleasant.
But as the doors are open and the wind starts moving inwards, it's very cold outside, especially compared to the indoors that has various sconces on the wall to keep the area lit. You hear, were you raised in a barn? Can you keep that damn... What are you guys doing here? As you turn around, you look up to the second story floor, and someone has emerged from one of the rooms, a black leather-clad dwarf man.
I'm gonna close the door again and walk back inside.
Immediately shutting off the cold southern winds. Wait, are you guys... Oh. I remember you.
I can't remember his name.
Yes.
He literally told me last session.
With a warm greeting, he starts to trot a bit down the stairs now, making his way towards you. You see that black dyed leather armor with the no sleeves and showing off these burns that are in these that are almost tattoo-like in their design and art, almost artwork in its own right. Well, how the hell are you guys? And he extends his hand to you specifically, Roku, as he reaches out upwards.
Chief, and I'm gonna give him the hand.
Roku, I'm afraid I don't recall you other two by name.
I am Hoga. Swift strike.
Sweetie.
I drop the chandelier in here.
Right, well, by the time we got around to this place, the whole thing had burned to the ground, so we don't recall much of what used to be here, but we built on top of the foundation that once was here. Now, What brings you all to the new and improved Sko-Tua today?
Do you remember the deal we made before I left?
The deal. I recall you giving us a sort of control over the territory and place to train.
And I talked to you about a demon incursion.
Yes, one we've been privy to. Why don't you all come with me out to the training fields? It's a bit stuffy in here. And he opens the doors that almost blow open on their own at the slightest crack and blow open. As he steps outside. Yeah, we've noticed a couple of those guys coming across from the lake up above. We haven't had a problem in a while, but we make sure to keep a guard tower on check just in case. And I gestures over to the left on the sort of outskirts of town. You can see the guard tower, sort of rise up above elevation, granting a bird's eye view to the rest of Sko-Tua. And you do recall it being cut down in the rise of the different factions that all tried to take over here. You as well see some sort of fence sort of shutting the town of Sko-Tua off from its outside forces.
Interesting.
Do you recall saying you would help when the time arose?
Well, I certainly mean that still. And as he sort of walks you down the main street and turns the corner, he sort of gestures over to the left, where a whole field has been just narrowed out, and training dummies are being pelted with hatchets being thrown. Swords are clashing onto as people train with one another. All predominantly dwarves, but all in that similar black sleeveless garb with the burns coating their arms. We've been keeping busy here while you all gone.
Just going to kind of look around and kind of awe. Warriors everywhere.
Nice.
We were having a bit of trouble with the demons coming. All shapes and sizes were making their way here, so we sent out that our former rival group. Remember that Dante guy?
Yeah.
Sent those 4 up north, and well, frankly, we haven't seen them since.
Well,
Most of them died.
Dante's still
Well,
alive. The rest of them,
Died.
not so much.
That happens. You hate to see it.
Well, Dante has aligned himself with a deity that has an army of her own.
Well, if this army ain't be training here in Sko-Tua, what kind of army is it?
Well, they are abyssal warriors. The Raven Queen.
Yeah, we heard of that one around here.
They are allied in this fight against the demons. And they'd like to coordinate a strike.
Are you asking us for support?
Yes.
I'm sure I can rally the troops.
That's good to hear. I don't ask this lightly, Chief.
Oh, I understand. We recently had some new inductees as well. I hate for this to be their first mission out.
I have a map with the plan on it if you'd like to see.
Ah, well, and he sort of like takes back his red hair and he ties it up into a top knot to adjust it from out of his face. Let me have it.
Gonna take it out of the casing it was in and hand it to him.
Want to walk me through this?
Is there like a place to set it down that isn't the ground?
No, you guys kind of just are walking around outside.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up my map real quick. Here to the west, you see above the lake, or actually in the lake, there's a Shadowfell crossing that the warriors from the Shadowfell are going to come out and they're going to attack from the west. We would like you guys to march north to the east side and pinch them.
Well, that sounds easy enough. I mean, we're not much of swimmers around here, but I think we can take it. Any idea what we are expecting here?
That is what we are going to do tonight. We're going to use the Shadowfell crossings to cross to the lake here. And we're going to go in and see what we're dealing with, and then we'll meet back up with you.
Right, these crossings. Where's the one we go through? Is that, he sort of points to the lower X. That's this here.
Was there a crossing, or was he just going to march? Was there a crossing to the east
Yeah,
side?
there's a crossing at the bottom of the mountains.
Okay, that was the Abyssal Warriors. That's what they were going to do, and they're going to march from the west to the top, right?
Shadowfell Warriors, not Abyssal.
I don't know. I forgot their name.
Abyssal warriors would be demons, so I was kind of confused by his statement. But
Look, man, I forgot.
No, they're already in Surask.
Okay, so at the bottom of the Midrock Mountains, that's where one of the things were, right?
Yeah.
That's where they were going to go and march. And then was there a crossing to the east?
The ones that were given to you were the bottom of the mountain and the middle of the lake. But as he gestures to the one by the mountains, right? Yeah, we practically owned these mountains before we moved, so wouldn't be too hard for us.
Are you saying the west?
Yeah, as the closest to us.
Well, I suppose if that's easier, we can see if they can come from the east.
Ain't no way we're making it up to
I suppose that
Surask
makes more sense. You're right.
in a very limited amount of time. How long we got anyway?
2 days before Dante checks in.
Sounds good enough to me. Say, we got to round out the rest of the initiation ceremonies tonight. Are you going to stick around? It's quite the show.
I would personally love to see that. And we'll
Sorry,
see if,
I've been just looking at the place. I love how you changed all this. You said you're going through shadow crossings with us, right?
I believe that is the plan that Roku just laid out in front of me.
And you're aware that it's 8 times faster walking that distance?
No, I was not, but
You are
now
now?
I am.
The Shadowfell, you can travel a lot quicker. So if they leave Midrock, we could probably make it the same at a time. They could probably leave first, actually. And we'd still make it there on time. But anyway, I thought I should make that detail clear.
Right, I just assumed they were magical portals or something.
No, you'll still have to do your hiking.
No problem for us.
So, the ceremonies. What exactly do you do in them?
Right, well, we take all the new generation of Fire Guard members, and we put them through the initiation trials, as all of us were put through, and, well, many others you don't see here were put through.
We'll take
that
off
the-
as soon as they're over.
Is that the? I kind of like gesture to like where he has like the burns and like scorch, like the brands and stuff.
Oh, this, and you can see that the scar tissue has made itself to be a snake that is like revolving around his hand, and it finally crests at the head open and tongue, sort of wiggling and teeth sprayed out of like a large snake, which is strange considering it's all burns. But oh yeah, the sleeves are granted to us in the ceremony, as is and he taps his eyes, not like you, but he just points to his eyes, and they sort of go from their average brown color to a shiny crimson as they wait over in a second back to their regular colors.
What does that do?
Oh, gives us our very limited connection to the fire forces within the realm. It's kind of our whole thing, Fire Guard.
Yeah, checks out.
In fact, my name means raging fire in some old language. I don't know.
What did you say your name was again?
Posar. Chief Posar. But I'm sure Roku already knew that. We've had more of an extensive relationship than you and I.
That's right. Chief.
Exactly. That's why I had to ask. It's been a hot minute.
Indeed. Say, some of your slave revolutionary friends joined us.
Is
Big.
well, what was his name? Big,
Mr.
the cat
Big.
with the no arm.
Being the cats.
Yes, the big cat. He's out on guard duty right now, patrolling the forest for any more of those demons.
Well,
But yeah, he took to the fires pretty well. His hair is a bit patchier now, but hey, he took it like a pure Fire Guard would. It's a creed. It's a sort of lifestyle. I think if any of you were to train hard enough, you could even make it there one day.
I'm not being pushy or anything when I say this, but with what we've been through, what's not to say we're already there? I'm not pushing anything upon your creed, your culture, but just a question.
Well, the Fire Guard, before they can officially induct themselves within our ranks and grant our abilities we gain through the Fire Force, they must complete a sort of quest. One specifically designed to bring themselves more in tune with the fire. And while I'm sure you've been on many quests in your day, none of which have been specifically designed for our initiation trials.
May I ask what this quest, Born in Fire, has to? Like, what is the objective of this quest?
Well, it's different for everyone. Although usually the different generations all go together. Sort of a pack. They learn to not only survive on their own, but rely on others. Learn how to treat each other and learn how to work together. And of course, some are used as, bait, but, that's just nature's way of sorting things out.
Strong, cold, the weak.
they probably already have done their quest. They're probably you probably already have all them chosen, so no point in asking if we could be a part of this quest.
Unfortunately, the recent generation, as the induction is due tonight, has already gone through their trials, but perhaps something can be set up for if you're truly interested.
It provides all the strength I need. No, thank you, Chief.
Right,
I
and
think it would be a.
and he looks to Hogar, and unfortunately, I don't think you're much the type either.
No.
He's
But
1/4 orc, you know.
Well, it is admirable. You're also pretty skinny.
Yes, I am. But I'm strong. I can shoot a bow.
Admirable, but I'm afraid I have an eye for this sort of thing. And if any of you were to be a fire guard, I'm sure it'd be you, sweet pea, sweetheart.
Sweetie,
Sweet pea.
it'll do.
Perhaps maybe even this whole demon ordeal would end up being your quest.
Huh?
Tell you what, if you're around tonight after the induction, we'll have the we'll commune with the fire spirits, see what they have to say.
Well, I'll have to stick around to see what these fire spirits say.
Anyways, I actually have a lot to do setting up for the trials tonight. As a lot of I don't pay much to the religious aspects as much as my ancestors of the Fire Guard did, but of course, some things you must keep tradition. But you are all free to look around, partake in any of the activities. And he gestures to the open field of people just beating on each other with different weapons and testing out their different abilities.
Can shoot someone?
If you want to. Although, I wouldn't recommend it.
I was thinking more reminiscing with someone like Big. You said he was on guard in the forest.
Right, there's an entrance over by the tower, and he points to the guard tower. The just simple wood tower built up to bird's eye view. There's a gate over there. If you want to wait by there, I'm sure the patrol would come back pretty soon.
Well, do you boys want to go have a word with Big?
Sure.
I believe I need to fill my father in on the situation. We're long past the chat.
Yeah, you have to go do your things. Well, we'll see you there tonight. You go set up your yeah.
Pleasure speaking with you all. I will see you again shortly. And he takes off in a sort of brisk pace into the many people that you can see that the long line of hatchet throwing. He passes by and thus disappears into the crowd of other orcs and very muscular dwarves that do line the forces that are the Fire Guard.
Lucy, no offense, but your mom's dead, right?
Wait, what?
Your mom's dead, right?
My mom's dead.
Is she?
Last I thought, no.
Because Roku's mom's dead, me and Krog's mom's dead, and both our fathers are gone.
I mean, I don't know where my mom is, if that's what
You-
you're asking. She could be dead.
She could be, yes. Well, let's go find Big. Let's go find the patrol line, I guess. And well,
Think about it, though. I could be the god of fish people, a fire warrior. Do you think I could like train with like air ganassi or like earth people,
I mean,
the master of the elements?
we can tie you some rocks.
Perfect.
Sweetie, the master of all four elements.
Sweetie the Avatar.
The Avatar.
Yeah.
Who would have known? So yeah, you guys walk through the former sort of shop fronts that seem to be still running. You see, you see a sign that says Yolgrids. That when you look through the tinted window in the front, you see a very hefty dwarf with the similar scars down him as well, pumping away at some forging and has different racks of weaponry for sale. None of which looks particularly noticeable, especially compared to your all of your magical different endowments. You also see people in their former slave garb that has been sort of modified to fit the sort of status quo. A lot of sleeves are gone. Sweetie or Ave, it would have made more sense if you would have kept the tank top in all in all regards.
Where'd I put it?
Put it on over the sweatshirt.
But yes,
That's what I'm doing.
You feel with
Um,
tank tops,
as
taking off your sleeves to show your power.
yeah, as even though it is rather brisk in the area, as wintertime is quickly approaching.
Dude literally complained about it being cold and walks outside in a tank top. Just a fucking flex.
As
Your
it
beauty.
is currently almost wintertime, the entire population of the Fire Guard still walks around in tank tops, almost as if they want the challenge. You know, they sort of exude this air of like, what? It's not even that cold. You know, they're all that type of guy.
Have fire on the inside of them.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
All of them are just fire. Everyone's on fire all the time. Forgot to mention that detail. The town is on fire. You guys are on fire.
They're their own torches.
Yeah, exactly. With that, you walk sort of you see the four legs of this guard tower that make their way up to that vantage point with a dwarf man in it are they have noticeable cracks and damage from when they were cut down. It's almost as if they didn't reuse, or they didn't build a new one. They just reused simply the broken down structure that was cut up for firewood during the slave rebellions and after Sevmine died. But of course, you all, I'm sure, remember all those times fondly here in Sko-Tua for many, many days.
It's only like 3. It was a long 3 days though.
It was more like 5.
It was
It was
like
long 5
3
days.
days in game time, but in real
Well, no,
life
'cause we
days,
had-
it was like 2 months.
No, because there was the first day where we met him, and then the second day where we
There was
did
like 2
or-
sessions before we even got up to like fighting 70. There's like 2 or 3
Exactly.
sessions actually.
Because like we were talking to him, being like, "Well, what if we like learn shit by like being members of the the slave owners?"
Yeah,
then-
and then we did that, and then we ended up killing him.
You guys
And then
found
we had to
Vecna's
solve that.
hand.
I still
And
have
then
his
we
gold.
killed him.
Yeah, it was probably more like 5-6 days.
And of
Like
course,
4 or 5 sessions.
as you walk
Lots
through
of
this
murder.
town that has been repurposed into a sort of training outpost, all those thoughts flood your minds as you were like, oh, that is where we went, and slaves were being sold, exotic slaves, different species, but as you sit here, you see this sort of wooden fence post that has been, they're very thick wood walls that have been put up around the border of Sko-Tua to hopefully dissuade any attackers from getting the upper hand. And just as you're waiting by this large drawbridge-like gate to the eastern side of the town, you hear the man up in the tower say, "Oh, Pozar! Pozar, we got movement! You down there!
Yes.
Will you get Pozar? There's movement on the outskirts of town."
Who's Pozar?
What's movement?
Who's
I don't know. There seems to be demonic activity, if I had to guess.
Ah, we got this.
who's Pozar? Where is he?
Posar, our chief.
Is there a way to scale this
Alright.
thing?
Alright,
Yeah,
we're
there's
not
a
the
ladder.
chief.
There's a ladder on.
I'm gonna go up and over.
I run to where the chief
Oh,
was.
you meant the wall?
Yeah, the wall.
No, the door. The door seems to be the only way there, but the control is right next to the door. It's a.
I feel like opening it's a bad idea.
I'm going to start running in the direction where we last were with the chief.
Look, kid. I don't know how you got here. And Sweetie looks to be talking to you, but this is too much of a task for you all to handle. You must get Posar.
Kid, I'm gonna just take up the ladder and try and like vault the wall.
Running.
Actually, no.
running.
Is the gate?
Is
Does
the
it have
tower
is it like
close enough to the gate to where you could like?
Jump, theoretically, yes, that is the possibility.
Is the gate have big enough slots where I could squeeze through? Or
It's like a wood wall. It is like tree
Okay.
trunks have been placed alongside each other. But of course, it's not perfect. So I'm sure you could, if you attempted to, you could slide through if you wish.
So, how long has it been since we were with the chief guy?
About 10 minutes. You know, you sort of mosey your way
I'm not going
across.
to run back to get the chief. I'm going to just walk up the wall. Not climb up, walk up. Just
wait, Hogar, grab me! I'm just gonna like try and grab onto Hogar.
grab him by the scruff of his neck.
Yes, and usually, you know, you would have a hard time lifting things, but the gauntlets, the oversized gauntlets of ogre power, just lift him up. No check needed as you slowly walk the way up the wall. Roku, how are you getting up there?
I'm gonna do like Assassin's Creed, and you like you climb up the thing, then you like annoyingly hop off the wall for no reason. I'm talking about, I'm gonna do that over the wall.
When you're just pressing up, and then all of a sudden you just
fucking.
yeah, you climb your way to the top of the tower. I need you to roll an athletics check as you try to just vault off backwards.
It's a 9, but I also have +9, so we got 18, baby.
That is a much improved number over 9. As you climb up, make eye contact with the guy, and he goes, "Oh, are you going to get the chief?" You leap over top of the wall. I need you to make an acrobatics check as you come hurling towards the other side of the gate with a lot of force as gravity starts bringing you downward.
That is a 19.
You roll and you actually land, and with the hand of Vecna, you like catch yourself into a superhero pose. And you're like, at the weird like precognition that the hand had. It rolled out and stopped your fall, even without you intentionally moving it, as you are become weirdly in tune with this body part that hasn't been yours since the beginning.
Like like Doomfist. I feel like it's like Doomfist. He got that stupidly large hand and like
walk out the wall.
As Hogar's carrying me.
top.
As Hogar's carrying me, like we're elevating, I just want to look at the guard and be like, "I'll show you who's the kid." As I'm just kind of like, I have my hands free because he's grabbed me by the back or whatever. So I'm just gonna be like, "This motherfucker!" Like,
No, we're not meeting the guard.
Posar.
We're meeting the demon.
well, yeah, but he called me a kid, and I'm just gonna get like thrown over the wall or whatever.
As you guys sort of like,
I'll just throw him over the wall.
Gonna catch Sweetie on the other side.
Sweetie, you get caught graciously by Roku.
Just gonna let him keep yelling at the guard while I'm carrying him towards the demon threat.
Scanning the trees for any movement. Scanning the area for any movement.
All right, roll me a perception check as you make your way farther out into the land.
Making my way down.
21.
All right, as you walk farther out, you have your bow drawn back.
Well, I'm still just on the top of the.
Oh, you're not moving that forward yet? Yeah, okay. Just as your first impression over the top, there's a bit of trees on the outskirts, but there's a sort of gravelly, sandy path that goes out towards the shores that you can barely see. You can't get any glimpse of the issue, out there yet. You haven't seen anything, but you can hear very distantly the sounds of some sort of struggle, specifically by a bunch of warriors or something of the sort, as you can hear weapons throwing, and you can hear take that, and various combat noises.
That must be the patrol
Can you
group.
do that again?
Take that.
I run down the wall. Come on, that must be the patrol group.
I'm gonna move. That looks like 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna move 11 to 11 o'clock.
Right.
That way.
That way.
As you move farther down the gravel path, it takes you a minute or two as you run, and you hear a final take that, and as the sound drains out, you run and crest over this hill, and you see only a single half orc who looks to, by his attire, be a part of the fire guard, as he sits among a beach with these two giant like rocks laying on the side. He sort of like sits there before the water, sort of like crouched and sort of in pain as he's clutching himself.
Where is it?
He where's what?
Well, what did this to you?
And he looks around and, boy, I have no idea. What the? He sort of like rubs his shoulder once more. There's something out here.
Right.
Was your mind erased, or did you not see it?
No, it was something here. It's disgusting lizard creature, with these hooks for hands.
Which way did it go?
Wait a minute, I think it's out in the water.
I look
I
out
grab
to the
him
water.
and pull him closer, like inland.
Look. You see that?
Do I
Do I
see
see
that?
Roll me a perception check.
I also asked, so I'm
Nine.
also,
Yeah, that was roll two.
that is a perception. That is a 15.
Sweetie, as you like sort of like walk slowly towards the outskirts of the water, right before like the waves were to hit you, you stand at the only dry part of the beach and you look out, and you see some sort of disturbance in the water. You can't specifically correlate what it is, but Holgar, as you walk behind him, you too see a disturbance in front of him, some sort of scaled creature moving. And as you look over to the right, you see yet another. But more importantly, as you look over to the right, you see this giant rock that is partially on the beach and partially on the water. The half-orc man that is standing behind you is also lying dead behind this rock, covered in his own blood.
I shoot the half-orc man Roku is holding.
Yeah, if you just look out, and you just launch an arrow into him, I need you to roll attack roll for that.
Ooh, that's a nice, very saucy. 28.
Turns out this guy was actually the half orc.
Oh yes, of course you hit him. Yes.
I'm so did he just shoot the dude I was helping?
Yes.
Yes, because the dude's also dead behind a rock.
Well, yeah, there's a boulder way up to the edge.
But of course, Roku, you
dude
did
is
not
dead
see
at.
this. You just saw Hogarth turn and just launch an arrow
8
into this
piercing
dude.
damage.
Roku, this orc gets hit in front of you, and he pulls the arrow out and drops it. And as this sort of thing's energy spider webs away from the wound, and and all of a sudden his skin tone starts to change into sort of a more peachy skin tone. His whole head shape elongates as he forms these awkward black long scraggly hairs and this huge maw, and suddenly as he's starting to shift his form, you as well see these two shapes rising from the waters, and I need you all to roll initiative.
What the hell? Holy
Oh.
shit!
Later. Kill
How
first,
you're just like,
question.
he's dying, and then just fucking your
Oh,
whole.
he's dying.
Wait,
Shoot.
Is it wait? Very important question. Roku was like, I imagine like he had him in his lap, so he was like holding him, right?
I was like in the process, so I was gonna like try and drag him like with my.
So technically,
Hands
does he
back.
have a grapple on him?
That's not what I was going. I'm assuming when he got shot, I went, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it's
Holy shit, hold on.
you sort of
that
the arrow
advantage.
went into him, and instead of being like, "You stay right here, punk," you were like, "What the?"
That's racist, Holgar. You just shot my brother.
I'm
It's
not orc.
also-
If we would have waited, we would have had a shit ton of fire guard. But where's the fun in that?
I presume you guys can't see my Google Docs screen right now.
No.
No,
Oh, you mean this screen right here?
dude. What the fuck
Sko-Tua.
is this? Why do they have hooks for hands? That seems impractical.
Fucking demons.
Right, considering they're demons, you don't feel like practicality is on their docket. I need to grab some dice here.
And this is where
Hey,
the
yeah,
combat music comes in.
Yeah.
told me like the save for the lightning arrow things.
Oh, it's loading.
The what?
The hickey arrows.
What about them? Did I not send you the stats for those?
No,
All right, my bad. You've been dead for a long time.
it's true. I
Big
haven't
dead
dead if
boy.
I could use them. I,
I have the map, like, I'm just
lightning
going to
thing
keep
on the
it
way
full
out.
time on the stream, which is super nice because now you can see, like, oh, this is where the water is. You can kind of just, like, if you look at the map, you can kind of see exactly where we're fighting.
All right. Did anybody get above a 20?
22.
What did I get? Okay. I got a 20.
How the fuck? I rolled really good and I'm getting last. Well, I
You
got a
might get before the
16,
demons. How is that really good?
Because I got a +2 dex, Ave.
Get a higher dex. Be a dex
Oh,
Well,
paladin.
plus 5 decks.
Do not be a dex, but that was not a. That was a. That was an irresponsible phrase from.
Jesus, Avery.
I will
think
not
it's held to be a
stand.
dex barbarian.
I will not stand for heresy such as dex-based barbarians and
These are all
paladins.
heretics.
What about an
War.
intelligence-based bard?
Dude,
That
why-
kind of makes sense, but no.
There's nothing wrong
What the
with
fuck is that thing so fucking cute?
That thing?
You
Yeah,
have
that
some
thing.
weird fetishes.
God,
It looks
damn.
like a mermaid with like hooks for hands.
You have some
It
weird
looks like it has
fetishes.
my hands, like my fucked
You
up
have
hands.
some weird fetishes.
First up
Oh, look at that boy.
is
Sorry,
the
I didn't see the other one.
the guy next to Roku, as he immediately goes for the famous bite and claw attacks. And the first is a bite, which is going to be a 24 to hit, which I'm assuming hits. But the claw is a 12.
It does not. No, look at me.
All right, the bite is going to be only 7 piercing damage, as he just goes and he just nicks you in the sort of neck area. So you immediately shove him off reflexively.
Ow, that kind of hurt.
But you feel something within you drain, and you feel your hand sort of start to hurt slightly, and your eye begins to get a pain behind it, almost like a headache, as your charisma score is reduced by 4.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
What is this thing?
Whoa, wait, what? We need to kill this thing quickly. Before it kills.
Reduced by
Holgar.
4?
Reduced by 4, yes.
Math. That's gonna.
That's gonna hurt.
Oh boy. Okay.
What is it at now, just to be sure?
15. So I'm
Okay.
getting a +2.
It is a +2 indeed.
Rick, can you scroll out a tiny bit? What are those two big things like above
Rock.
the guy?
Rock.
Those are rocks.
Waves. This is where Dead Orc guy was on the other side of this rock.
Okay.
As this guy is going to move up slightly onto the beach to stand directly in front of Sweetie and Hogar. And he is going to... actually, my bad. He is going to go back. I believe it was here.
Attack of opportunity.
And with that, he starts to swirl his hook hands around behind him, and he launches this contorting waves. These sort of this sort of whip made of water, as it lashes around you. And Sweetie, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Drunk boy, Sweetie.
You would not benefit from.
Yeah, probably not.
Thing.
Let's just say I rolled the lowest I possibly can.
Yeah.
Saving throw.
Yeah.
So 2 + 5 is a 7.
As it hits you, immediately the feeling of salt water is not what you experience, as it starts to burn your skin in an irritating sort of way, and then to a physically melting your flesh sort of way, as you take 22 points of acid damage.
Oof, ouchie.
Holy
And as
shit.
you're like, as you sort of like reach out in pain, he takes your advantage as you're off balance, and the water yanks you towards him into the depths of the water.
I can't do
Only a
like,
little bit, only like in the
underwater
water
sounds.
a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
Sweetie, you're a fish person now. Can't you breathe underwater?
Yeah, the hell's
Can I breathe? If I smite, can I breathe water?
If you fish, can you
I'm the
breathe
god of
water?
fish people. Let me be the god of fish people.
He's the god of fish people.
You
can't
are the
breathe
god
water?
of fish people. You just didn't negotiate with
The
them
god-
what sort of abilities you would get as a god of fish person.
Yeah, you suck.
And then with
Can
that,
I pray for them to give me kills?
and with that, he is going to do his bite and double claw attack on you. The bite is going to be a 16 to hit.
No. Fuck you.
The two claws are going to be an 18 to hit and a 16 to hit.
Is it a meets it, beats it, or defense wins? I forgot.
Meets it, beats it.
It's it.
Fuck, the 18 hits.
Okay, so that's going to
Chocolate.
Damn.
2 hits. Just gonna be
Wait, 2 hits. I thought
Yeah.
just 1 hit.
I said 18 and 16, and the first one was like,
The 18 hit, the 16 didn't.
okay. So that's just going to be, shit, I forgot what it was going to be, so I got to roll again. 8, this is less, so you're lucky. That's going to be 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
But yeah, you're sort of in this weird, as you sit in like this literally like ankle deep water, you're just on the barrier of the shore. You feel that same sort of tinge and irritation brush up against your feet as your socks get all wet. But of course, it sort of starts to irritate you as you can see this sort of inky substance, this sort of clear inky substance. It looks like a carbonated white. It's like carbonated milk that's like floating around in the water, and it smells just about how you would imagine.
Nope.
It's carbonated milk. That's what it is.
Not
That
it.
sounds delicious.
And with that, yeah, that is its turn. Hogar, it is now you.
Bonus action: Hunter's Mark on Slayer's Prey on the guy bugging Sweetie.
Okay.
Draw one loaded hickey arrow,
Okay.
and take a shot at the thing pestering Roku.
Oh, okay. So you target the one in front of Sweetie, and then immediately you crank the hickey arrow around with the blue liquid sort of filling inside of it. You crank it around to the guy messing with Roku, and he launches this arrow at you.
Yep. That's a 24 to hit.
That certainly hits.
Does that do any extra lightning damage?
I don't know.
'Cause
I
don't have. You haven't given me the stats of that yet.
I really wish you would have said something before we started the game, because I could have looked for it.
Pretty sure he did.
I
Fuck you, Rick.
disagree. Wait, why fuck me?
Because I'm reading, and I have something that's going to be really fun for you.
I'm really excited for my turn. I can't hold it anymore.
You know
I'm
what?
excited.
Yeah, I can just take my two attack against the other guy and.
From what I recall, it's an extra damage die of lightning damage. And then it would be a DC, I would say 16, and then if not, it would be stunned for the ending till the end of the next turn.
I have a question. He's hitting him with a lightning arrow, right?
Yep.
Are they in water?
No.
That is
Are
going
they not
to be
in water?
No.
12.
He's
technically
standing on the
from
beach
Donkey.
next to Roku.
12 piercing and 3 lightning damage, and he has to
Oh,
make
that
save.
one. Okay.
Yep. It's going to be a con save, and he does not very good on it. That is going to be a 9. So
With the fail stun till the end of my next turn.
end of your next turn, Roku, as you're next to this guy and he takes that bite out of your shoulder and gives you that weird feeling in the inside of your tummy, he gets hit with this arrow and he and goes to grab at it, and then it just opens up, claws these talons into him, and you see this blue energy that's within the arrow start to drain out like it's a syringe getting pumped, and he just, as you can see his bones and the hollowness of, you can see through his cheeks as the electricity pumps through his body, and he stands there stunned before you as he convulses slightly in his state.
Rook killed him, and I fired an arrow at the guy Hunter's marked.
Immediately cranking back another arrow, spinning around on a swivel, and shooting at the demon in the water. Roll for it.
That's a nice saucy 22.
That certainly hits.
29. I didn't. 29.
Even better.
Dealing. Well, 18 piercing damage. And next turn, I'm gonna start sniping fishes, and I run away onto the top of the rock. I run behind the rock. So
This one, top one or bottom rock?
bottom rock. So I'm out of the sight of the two guys.
Right there.
Yes.
Okay, it's 30 feet. How much damage was on that first guy?
The first guy, I believe it was not remember.
My bad.
Now we can re-roll the damage.
If you will.
Let's see here. Eight piercing and 6 lightning.
Okay.
So 14 total. And that's my turn.
Perfect.
Stab.
All right. And of course, with that, it is now Sweetie's turn.
Just
Sweetie,
scroll out.
as you, I don't know how far you want me to scroll out.
That's perfect.
As you stand in this milky water, it starts to touch your skin and bubble up all around you. And as you can feel this irritation start to build, you just sort of shake your leg and it falls off of you. You feel as if your halfling resistance to poison really helps out when swimming around in poisonous water.
You know, that's pretty nice. Okay, I'm going to annotate. Kill arrow. Actually, no. Draw arrow. This boy right here, that rock. You see that?
I do see
How
that
much
rock.
did you say that weighs?
Well, it would. Wow, I don't know how much. I did not think of how much the boulder would weigh.
It's a rock.
foot. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say 6 to be even. Just did some quick math. I'd say about 900 to 70-ish
Let's go. Telekinesis.
Pounds. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's what is the weight limit for telekinesis?
1,000 pounds.
Perfect. As you just whip the ring around and you hold it with both hands, you just, and you can see that sort of red aura extend outward, and just the rock begins to lift and the sand begins to go beneath it as you have to physically hold your hand with both hands and lift it up as you can feel the weight of it.
Bring it almost directly over my head, but, a little over to the right.
As it floats suspiciously above him.
It's a trap.
And I guess just let go of concentration and drop it.
And you just stare at the being in front of you as it's like, it reels back its teeth, threading its claw hands at you, and you just a big explosion of water poofs out. What's your spell save DC?
Spell save DC is 17. I don't think you gave me a specific one for the ring. I think it just goes off of mine.
Yeah. And he manages to sort of like shift out of the way, but the rock, you can see these things have like sort of tails. They're almost salamander, snake-esque in nature. And he starts to slither away underneath the water. The edge of the rock just crushes it on the edge of his tail as he lets out this demonic screech of pain. As he takes some damage because he got fucking a rock landed on him. Come on. Okay. Unfortunately, he's resistant to rock damage. No, I'm just
Damn it. He's resistant
specifically
to rock
rocks. I don't know where that applies, but
I guess it applies here. I mean, goddamn.
yeah, fuck, can't argue with the rules. You know what I mean?
But he said it's on top of his tail. So if I were to just like hop out of the way, it's not like he's going anywhere. At least for a little bit.
At least for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much damage did that do? Can I ask that?
Rock damage.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's probably gravity. So it's like he probably did like
yawning.
1,000 pounds and then rolled like a D6 and was like, okay, this times this. So it probably did like a good 200
This one
damage.
about-
I don't do math. It's Dungeons and Dragons. What am I
It's
gonna
like
do? What am
200
I gonna use
damage, but
math
then he's
for?
resistant. So it's probably only like 4 damage. 'cause-
With that, sweetie, is that your turn?
The bonus action. Hey, Roku, give me a hand over here. Like, not looking at Roku in the slightest. I know Roku has his own problems out of game, but in game, no fucking clue. So, giving Roku a bardic inspiration because
Honestly, what the hell is Roku doing back there? Not helping you at
he's
all.
just letting me get attacked up here.
Well,
like,
fucking
what is
guy.
he doing?
Did Tweety hear me say Roku? Kill him.
Probably, but like that could be applied to the 2 salamanders in the water, you know.
Exactly. There's a
So
lot of
Tweety
people here.
didn't see me shoot the guy also.
No, I just saw you shoot the guy that was over by me.
Look, man, Sweetie's got his own thing going on, and Roku
Yeah.
ain't helping
Yeah,
with him. So,
Yeah, I'm
I
just
need
kind of
Roku's help.
useless. You know how. it be.
and with that, Roku, since you rolled really well, it is actually the second demon's turn. As he,
Yeah, you kidding?
Will we well?
as
I thought you were
he
making fun of his will.
Oh, that's nice.
he immediately starts to swim underwater as he goes and attempts to hunt out Hogar.
This stream is brought to you by.
You didn't think he was that fast, did you?
He's
wait.
as he thinks underneath the water, he appears to the right of you in your line of sight, and he is going to sort of do the same thing he did to Sweetie as he starts to swirl that concoction of acid and water, and he launches it at you. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
That's a -1 to hit. He's obscured.
Listen, I don't know what Warhammer you're trying to bring in here, but I'm not having it.
Let's see. Dirty.
Plus, he's not even obscured.
He's got his hand behind that rock.
He's got his hand behind the rock. That's obscured.
Dirty 20.
That is a enough to succeed. But as it attempts to like lash around you, you manage to bust out of it, but your skin still makes contact with this water, and as it hits you, it starts to almost cause boils on your skin, like if you were to blister over because of a burn. Almost giving yourself sort of a pseudo fire guard tattoo, but not with fire, but more chemical burns, if that's what they're into. And with that, you are going to take only 11 points of acid damage.
I am going to eat you.
And with that, he has not used the entirety of his movement.
Of course he hasn't.
That was only what?
This dude's fucking quick and thick.
Actually,
He's a fish person.
he's actually going to slink back sort of into the ocean a bit further.
That's what I thought.
It starts to like swim to the shore, and Hogarth's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, okay."
You better run.
And with
Shoot
that,
me.
Roku, it is now your turn.
Am I last in initiative?
Yes, you are last in
That's
initiative.
fucking beautiful.
With the 16.
All right.
I rolled really well.
I did.
That's you.
Okay,
That's
I did.
you.
I
That's
was
what you
proud
sound
of
like.
it. I was proud of my 14. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's good for you.
I've been really excited to try this, and I want to try and turn him to jelly.
Right.
So
As he is stunned in front of you,
I have to roll to hit him first, I believe.
you get advantage on that roll because it is a he's stunned.
How could I miss? How could I possibly miss? A 23.
That certainly hits. Yeah.
Okay, and then a DC 18 con save.
You know Into the Spider-Verse. You seen Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
You hit him with that. Hey, and as you grab onto his shoulder, you sink the Vecna claws into him. And as it does so, you can see this black energy, the one that's sort of spewed out through your veins when the hand was attached to you. The same thing digs into him, and they start to claw up his neck and go down his arms and because he is shirtless, so you can see them run up and down his gross little body.
He's thick.
He is kind of thick. And he needs to roll a, what is it, 18 con save?
18 con save.
All right, the judges are still out on this one. And you see as the blackness gets to the belly region, he all of a sudden his eye droops out of place.
I want to like avatar him. Put on his
Okay.
fucking, like when he took away Ozai's power.
Nope, didn't watch Avatar.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna go behind him, like kick his knees and like bend him so he's looking back at me. I'll place my thumb right in the middle of his forehead. And that's how I'm gonna do it from here on out. That's how the jellying is gonna be done.
London jelly.
His skin just flops into a pile as it becomes just a bag of jelly. It is as his entrails start to pour out of different orifices. You see his stomach actually implode as all of the weight of his organs and the jelly has protruded out of his sort of fat stomach, and it's popped a hole in his belly button and is now seeping out this black, green, white, red liquids just pouring all over onto the sand as you stand above him, thumb pressed on his forehead.
Wow, that felt really good. I need to turn more people into pudding more often. I'm gonna go move up to help out Sweetie because he called so nicely for it.
Do you want to go
Yeah.
that way?
Whatever gets me within combat range.
You want to stand in the water?
Yeah.
As you take a step into this water, you notice that it's milky and gross looking. And do you have any sort of aversion to poison?
I am immune to poison.
You two step into the poison. That is one of the main features of this thing's offensive capabilities, and you say, nah, and you just sort of kick it off as well. This thing pinned under the rock by its tail sort of looks confused as it sort of like gives you that face, and the liquid starts to splay out even further beneath him
Shit out more liquid.
as he's pushing it out from whatever gland secretes this white milky substance, and he's just dumbfounded that it is not having effect on either of you.
And then to help out Sweetie, as he's helped me out in the past, I'm gonna give him a Shield of Faith. That's +2 to your AC.
+2 to my AC?
Yeah.
God damn! I have an AC of 20.
Is that your turn?
Oh, and I get a D10 from my hit points back. That's
Are
3.
you? Do you just get that every turn, or is it
Yep, at the start of every turn?
start every turn?
That's
Just
if
Gus.
you have damage taken to you, right?
Yep, and I do. I'm missing 7 hit points, and I just got 3.
Perfect. And with that, we are back to the top of the order, but without our leading initiative haver. It is now this guy's turn, as he is in a very unfavorable situation.
You sure about that?
But with that, he is going to once again use his grasping spout ability to target you, Roku. Even though he can't pull you any further towards him, he's still going to attempt to deal the damage upon you. I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
All right, okay. Am I still taking the -4 for my charisma?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that affects things. Strength?
Yeah.
I got a 19 because I'm only taking 2 to my charisma.
You pass, as he's not willing to sort of entangle you in this spout of water, but you take 16. No, you take 8 points of acid damage and maintain your status in front of him, as he is going to use his bite and 2 claw attacks upon you as you're standing directly in front of him. The bite is going to be a 19 to hit.
That does, because I don't have my sword AC up.
Right. The claw is going to be a 11.
That does not.
Second claw is also going to be an 11.
Okay.
So you only take the bite attack, but as he goes towards you with his lizard-like face, and he opens up this weird jaw filled with these minuscule needle-like teeth, and he just sinks it as you block it with your arm. You take, oh shit, 29 points of piercing damage. The bite is pretty powerful.
Jaw.
Got a strong bite. You see as he bites onto you, and you let out sort of a you sort of understand why he has the sort of snake-like shape, as the pressure from the bite is very intense.
You son of a bitch.
With that, Hogard, is now your turn.
Not really seeing that those two have that one under control. I'm going to put my Slayer's Prayer on this asshole right here.
I mean, thick mama chama.
Mm-hmm.
And then take 2 shots at him, targeting him with Favored Foe after the first shot.
Okay.
So that goes off with attacks. So that's and I'm gonna make one of those. I'm gonna make both of those snipers.
Okay.
Sharp shots. Whatever. All right. Does dirty 20 hit?
It does.
Does an 18 hit?
It does not, unfortunately. That is just on the cusp.
Oh well. Goodbye, single D8s of damage.
As you launch into the water, bound to get one arrow caught amongst the waves, but the second sinks into him fairly certainly as the water around him starts to fill up with his blood.
Oh well. At least that's some nice damage there. 11 plus the 16, 17 plus the 11 plus 16, 27 plus 5, 32 piercing damage.
Perfect.
Where'd my other D8 go? All
You
right, I got my other D8.
sink this arrow into his stomach, and he lets out almost a bird-like screech. Ah! But unfortunately, he does not look too badly hurt from that whole ordeal. Is that your turn?
For now.
I don't think that's how turns work. Is it?
Yes, that's my turn.
All right, perfect. Sweetie, it is now your turn.
I grab the rock with my red ring and I pull it towards me,
Okay.
like into me and Roku's spaces.
Oh, like
'Cause
flipping
so
it,
like
or-
slowly rolls them over. You know, like a steamroller or something like that.
that would just push all you guys back.
Can I not like roll it like up him? Like just like slowly like
like a rolling
you know like how
pin.
steamrollers work,
Because
right?
he's like, it's underneath his tail, so he's just like trying to flip the rock.
You can certainly try.
This is
Okay.
for
That's gonna be some dexterous type shit,
this is for those android lovers out there.
I guess.
You mean
It
like
says-
a road roller?
Would you technically consider this rock worn or carried?
No.
As it's crushing him.
No.
He definitely
Okay.
carried it.
Yeah,
Then
he's
I
definitely
can-
not.
I don't have to make any checks to control the rock. So I'm just gonna like try and like roll it up his body, you know, like get more of his torso in it.
All right. Yeah. As you attempt to sort of push this rock upwards into your space, it will push. Why? It'll push you two back a bit onto shore, and he managed to slink out to the side. As you try to roll it up him, you lift it up just enough so that it gets off of his tail, and without that pressure on it, he immediately rolls back away from underneath it.
You know, that's fair. That's 100% fair. But I'm like turn to look at Hogar. Hey, you got that one right? Give him a little thumbs up, and with the thumbs up, there's gonna be a little bardic inspiration that just like flies off my thumb,
What die is it?
inserts
300
itself
smacks
forcefully
it off.
into
What die is it?
Hogar.
What
What?
level is
What
your
die
bardic
is your inspiration?
Oh, it is a D8.
Well, now you get another D8 out.
Sorry.
So I'm using this to kill things.
Sweetie, is that your turn?
Yeah. And technically, well, would you consider me in melee range of it?
Oh, for sure, yes. Spacing is a bit confusing at the moment
Okay.
due to a rock being added to the battlefield. But yes, you would be.
Okay. Yeah, then that's my turn.
It is now this guy's turn, as he is going to slink back even farther into the depths. Hogar, once again. The waves start to curl up around him and launch at you, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Ah, I get an extra D6 from Slayer's Prey. The second verse better than the first. And that is 23.
All right, once again, your strength save manages to override this man, as he is going to deal 12 points of acid damage.
Oh no.
As it hits you with the wave, but it does not manage to pull you in yet again this time, but it remains distant.
I have still more max health than Oz did.
Oh, wizards. Roku, it is now your turn.
Oh baby. I'm first. I gotta get see if I get what I get back for health. I get 5, and then I'm gonna smack him twice with my axe because the sword don't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be a 29 and a 22.
Yeah, those both hit for sure.
Okay. And that's gonna be that is fat ass damage. 8, 11, 16, 26 damage from the maul, and then 48 cold damage. 31 cold damage, making that.
And how much from the maul?
29. So 60s. No, not yes, 60 total.
All right. Just gonna do some quick calculations here. Yeah, with this you brandish the hammer you know and love, and this time the hand now guides it as well. You now are working in tandem with this weird appendage that has been stuck onto you, and your eye manages to give you depth perception hitherto unheard of in your case. You realize you hadn't noticed it before, but you've been swinging at a disadvantage this entire time. You were like, the weight of it is all off. I was weaker in this hand. I couldn't see but now you've managed to hone your skills perfectly. You take a big swing and smush him up against that rock. Do you smite at all?
I'm not going to, no.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of supplement smite if I don't want to waste smite slots. I'm going to try and move up onto the rock, like around him, trying to cut off his escape, kind of.
Sure. Would you roll me an athletics check, as the rock is kind of tall and hard to just leap up to, especially in the midst of combat?
28.
Without a doubt, you just and you sort of manage to walk all the way around, as he now sort of more comfortably manages his space. Although he's even here, he's not against the rock. It's a very complicated time to be him. With that, it is now back to his turn, actually, as instead of Roku taking the brunt of the damage, the being then decides to focus all of his attacks on the smaller target now sitting in front of him. Sweetie, the bite is going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Shield of Faith can't help you there.
And the claw is going to be a dirty 20.
Shield of Faith's not going to help you there either.
And an 11.
That
Hey,
one
you got one.
Wow, you really pissed this thing off.
Yeah, I guess.
The bite is going to be 27 piercing damage as it latches onto your neck area as you let out as it's like grabbing your face and you're trying to pull it off of you. And then it
Did you say
sinks.
27?
Yes. And then it sinks its hook into the side of you as you are distracted from its bite, and it tears this fish hook into your side. Ironically, you being the fish god, you care a lot about these fish hooks. They hurt sentimentally as well. Ooh, that's good damage for that too. That is going to be 22 points of slashing damage for that one claw as well, as he sinks it into your side and he yanks it out, and not in a clean way, as he tears your side along with it as he does.
Baby.
Ah, damn.
And then also he is going to launch his acidic water at you. This time he summons up something from deep inside of him, and like a one of those, the dinosaur that shoots Dennis Nedry in thank you. It sprays out from the back of his throat, except it's some burning acidic water. I need you to make a strength saving throw, because for some reason it doesn't.
It's strength.
It's still strength. The ability doesn't really prepare for the case that if you're already in melee with something, but it still gives you the ability to use it every time. So I don't know.
I think you're out of range, definitely. So you're not catching the
Can I
plus
like
2.
scoot over like 5 feet? Be like, and, like scoot over.
Flash zone. Hogar.
What's that?
Well,
Strength
give
save.
me. It's an
You would-
8.
Wait.
Give me
You
damage.
would not get Roku's aura, unfortunately. But
I
you do
know.
get yanked. Yep, up one space directly in front of him, and that is
Mhm.
going to be 22 acid damage.
Down for the count.
How
Really?
much damage did
Listening.
he just do right there?
I was at 60.
60. It was
and
60-ish.
now I'm-
Yeah, he dealed about 20.
No, I'm
Like,
negative 11.
Per
I'd say
attack.
about 70. Sorry,
I'm-
70 points of damage throughout,
You know,
approximately.
I'm negative 11 now. I have 60, so he did 71 damage.
And he did, though, miss one of his claws.
Great.
So there's
He's
that.
more of a threat than
And
I
there's
thought
another
he
one of
was.
these.
To you, I'm shooting one on my own.
Hogar. Speaking of,
Yes. Well, look over to him. Hunter's mark. Pull out bow and arrow. 2 shots. One of which is a sharp shot.
okay,
You don't know both of my sharp shots.
okay.
Well, that's great. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
Does a natural 20 hit?
It does.
Well, I'm going to do the good old 19 first. So you can go about this in a calm and collected manner.
Smack his cheeks.
Remember, you also have a
I
Bardic
know.
Inspiration
know.
that
Doubles. Yep.
doubles on
I know
crits.
exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, jeez.
Dude's too
Oh,
fucking big of a brain. He's got too big of a brain.
Ooh,
Brain's too big.
6, 18
The devil? What?
plus 10
It's almost like we're
28,
fighting demons.
plus 4, 32 on the first attack.
Okay.
32 on the first one.
And that's not a crit. Well, you know what it is? This one.
Oh, baby, a triple.
And this is just a normal fucking bow and arrow. What the fuck, Jared?
It's not a normal bow.
Well, okay, that's fair. It is kind of a devil bow.
Oh my god. My lowest roll is a single 4. Everything else is 6 and up. 12. Also 12. 24. 28. 35. Plus 6. 41. Plus 10. 51 piercing damage.
All right. That's with Hunter's Mark and Inspiration included, I assume.
Yeah. Sadly, it was my second attack, so I didn't get Slayer's Prey as well. Oh well.
It seems to be not particularly taking a stealthy route, but it's definitely trying to avoid your general ire. But as you pop around the corner, you notice it sort of bobbing amongst the waves. And as you line it up with the waves and you start counting the seconds in between when he's going to rise up, and you just bingo, and you launch these 2 shots directly at him that perfectly arc and spew into him into the water, causing water to shoot up as well as this blood, almost like a weird demented version of a blowhole shooting into the air as this thing lets out a shriek and then pops its head above the water once more to look at you, still standing, or swimming in its case. Is that your turn?
Yes.
And with that, it immediately is going to cause you to make a strength saving throw once again.
Well, it can certainly try. See. 24.
Well, that certainly passes as it launches this blast at you. As you quickly sort of brush it away, you notice that as you slam it out of the way, you look to see time itself around you reverse. And as you question what happened, you fail the saving throw. As it evokes some sort of ability, as you can see that it is moving its hook hands around using some sort of sorcery. As you can see this deep red glow within his hands as he manipulates your arms shut, pulling you towards him.
That is not good.
Well, at least I can swim.
You can indeed,
That
although
is good.
unfortunately it is difficult terrain. But
You don't worry about
Oh,
that
let me
next
just
turn.
kill him.
yeah, that works instead. You are going to take. Oh, I got 2 8s on this one. Got to do some math here. Jesus. Okay. 27 acid damage.
Yeesh.
Oof, that's a bit.
He is then going to do the bite double claw on you. The bite is going to be a 24.
That hits.
And the claw is going to be a 14 and a 24.
14 doesn't hit, 24 does.
All right, so that's a bite 1 claw as he is going to do the bite first. The same strategy he used on Sweetie. The bite first is going to deal 5, 37, 41 points of piercing damage as it sinks into your jaw.
Bite?
Shit.
He did say is a mouthful of little razor sharp
I
needles.
have this
wait.
many hit points.
And with its claw, it's going to deal
6 damage.
presumably more than 6 damage.
I'm down.
He's floating away. Someone
Good
get
thing-
Hogar, he's floating.
Good thing I resist poison damage.
Hogario. Really, Jared?
As you guys look over, Hogar starts to drift amongst the flame as he gets a fish hook ripped out of his belly. And then suddenly you see that white infectious water start to pour into his wounds, which you assume cannot mean anything good. And actually, the only one that sees that is Roku, as he's the lone survivor up on the rock.
Roku, save me.
I think I totally skipped over your turn, sweetie. Did I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Death
He's-
saving
I
he's
throw,
was
doing
sweetie.
like,
that save.
I'm gonna roll death
Yeah,
save,
my
and then
bad.
like
Sorry,
he just kind of kept
sweetie.
going. And I was like, what?
Death saving throw, sweetie.
1 fail.
My mind often just kind of goes, yeah, he doesn't exist. You know, he's down. He's fine. Whatever. We can skip him. And then I'm like, no, he has stuff to do.
I mean, if we don't have to roll any more death saves for me, I think that'll be good.
And with that, Roku, it is now your turn.
Can I make a backhand bitch slap as a bonus action without proficiency?
As a bonus action,
Yes.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I'm gonna shuffle around, and I suppose I'll heal Sweetie.
Awkwardly move around the outside of this demon as you.
Okay. I'm gonna give you. Let's go. I'm gonna give you 25 hit points out of my 45 hit point pool here.
Oh, yeah, I thought you only. I was like, did you just giving me everything?
No.
Okay.
Can someone save me? I don't want to die again.
Wait, how far away are you?
We're getting there, but
Let me
right
open.
now.
Because this
That
bitch
far away.
will risk time on me.
Can't search stuff in Snapchat.
And
You don't have like healing word or anything, sweetie?
I do. Is that 60 feet? That's probably a lot longer than 60 feet.
his turn's already gone and passed.
What's fair?
When it gets back to his time.
Okay. Anyway, I suppose I'll try and smack him with my trident.
Oh yes, of course.
Handy D&D
Spiritual
trident.
weapon. And luckily, I have a mouse to draw this now, so it will look a lot better.
Will it?
No.
No, not that guy. The other guy that's fucking us. Actually, no, I gotta help out Hogar. No, he's gonna fucking move. No, take it to the other guy.
This kind of looks like a 4.
I'm cool with that.
I was gonna say it looks like a swastika, but
It's like a cursive swastika.
his swastikas are in cursive. wanna get
I'm only swinging with a
demonetized on
plus
Twitch
6
for
because
that?
that dude fucked up my charisma. So I rolled a 3. So does a 9 hit?
Unfortunately, it does not hit.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Could I move between Sweetie and the big bastard? So he's not the primary target anymore.
Roll me an athletics check.
You gotta be fucking shit. I rolled a 2. So that's 11.
As Sweetie's like gaining his bearings and rubbing his eyes, you're like, you go to like push his hand back and like gesture towards him to step aside. But as you do, you totally just aren't looking at him, and in his crouched position, you misjudge his height, and you just swing your arm back, and you're like, and look back as the couple seconds that flail took passes.
Well, that's my turn. Yeah. That's what I got.
All right, perfect. Back up to the top, we have this man as he is now going to focus Roku with Roku. Make a strength roll first. Let's just
That is a 19 plus 28.
All right, you are going to take half as he's going to launch his water at you again. 8, 15. Holy shit. 23, 29, 30.
Stab.
3 points of acid damage.
Ow.
And he's going to make his bite double claw attack on you. The bite is going to be a 20, dirty 20.
I am going to use Sweetie's Bardic Inspiration. This is the bite, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I just rolled a 5, so I'm at 23.
Okay. The claw is going to be a 16 and a 17.
Those both miss.
Miss. As he goes to bite you, you hold up your hands in a blocking formation, and you can hear the remnant. Like it, all of a sudden, it just plays this sound bite of Sweetie going, "Roku, can you help me out here?" And the being like looks at your hands, confused, and like looks back at Sweetie, barely conscious on the ground.
Thanks, Sweetie.
And with that, it misses. We are back to that was him. So Hogar is going to be a death saving throw.
Don't fuck it up.
I do resist poison beneath my cloak, if that's important at all.
Are you immune to poison?
No.
Okay, so first roll a death save.
18.
All right, that's success. Now roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Is the water caused by this creature?
Not, I mean, it secretes this. It corrupts the water around it.
When you start getting the extra D6 for my supernatural defense from that?
What does exactly the supernatural defense do?
Whenever the target of your Slayer's Prey, which still lasts while I'm unconscious,
Okay.
forces you to make a saving throw, and whenever you make an ability check, take a grapple from that.
Yeah, I would definitely say this applies. Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure before I start doing it without asking.
Even in death, you're like, actually, the chemical compound in the water does not affect me.
Well, that's pretty good. 24.
All right. Somehow,
22.
as you have a wound, as you have a wound in your stomach, it starts pumping out this poison mixed with this blood, attempting to keep your body clean from being poisoned, which it so far does.
No, there's just a piece of cheese there. Sucking up all the poison.
Sweetie, it is now your turn.
Disengage. 25 feet south.
Okay, book it, buddy. Book it.
Into the rock.
20. Which way? 25?
Can I hop up on that rock?
It's kind of a big rock. You'll have to
It's
roll an
a
athletics
big
check
rock.
to hop up on it.
Okay. I'll still be able to do a bonus action, right?
Yeah. Sorry, this is part of your movement.
Athletics, you said, or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. 15.
Yep. You managed to make it up there on your last year movement. Just seeing Hogar out of the corner of your vision.
Would you say it's 60 feet?
No. Maybe.
There's always the issue with the
Diagonal.
diagonal.
Because like I think
That's
it's like
why
7.5
people make
feet
pentagons.
per corner. So like it would be like 8 spaces diagonally.
Which would be like 40. Sure, I would allow that. Yeah.
Okay. So heal. God get up, Hogar. That yeah, we're just gonna go with that. And it's going to it's only first level because that's all I got. So sorry about that.
Don't
but-
worry, I'm probably just gonna go down this turn anyways.
No biggie.
Hey, it's a 3. It's pretty good. And then plus my spellcasting ability modifier. That's another 5. There's 8 hit points.
He goes before I do.
Well, you're up.
You're gonna tank the 8 hit points. No biggie.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I lost the D4.
Just
That's
use your
gonna
unrelenting
murder me later.
endurance.
I'm gonna step on that. Oh,
No.
God.
Yeah, just
Full
use your orc abilities. Sweetie, is that your turn?
Yeah. Action, bonus action, movement. Yeah.
Play
It
dead.
sees
Play
it sees Hogar now in front of him, floating in the water. He's gonna make his bite double claw attack on him. The bite is going to be a 16.
Does not hit.
The claws are going to be an 18
That hits.
and a 17.
That is my AC.
How many points
Unless
did you
you-
get?
8.
Holy shit, I did roll like 3 ones on this though. 3, 8. Yeah, you're down.
Did you just roll
He's
8
out of there.
damage?
No, I rolled 8
Okay,
on the
alright,
die,
okay, you
not
just
including
stopped.
the modifier.
I'm up.
All
I'm
right.
down.
And
Well,
then
that was a once a day ability.
That was
Fuck, I gotta jump out there and use my cure wounds.
Sweetie, I need you to make a strength saving throw as he
Gonna get blasted off the rock.
whips his water towards you.
Oh, no, he pulls you closer.
Actually, I have an ability that just kind of, sorry. I have to make a what saving throw? Strength?
Strength, yeah.
Don't fail.
23.
You get out of here, water. With that, you're gonna take half damage still.
My hands turn into flippers, and I'm like, ah.
Wait, do you get the
I'm a
extra
fish god.
D6 when I lay on hands you for the sweater?
I do get an additional 4 hit points from that. It's not D6, it's my proficiency.
Okay, all right, whatever it is.
I know. I just need help.
You take. Oh, shit, I totally forgot. $10 points of acid damage.
Fuck your acid damage. It doesn't do shit.
But you are not pulled any closer to him.
Okay.
He's gonna slink back to Hogar. He's gonna end his turn.
It's a temporary fix that I have. A temporary is good.
That was Sweetie. That was his turn. Now Roku.
Baby. All right, D10, get some
Oh,
health back.
mama.
I rolled a fucking 1. I get 1 fat hit point.
One. I think Hogar needs that ring right about now.
All right, so we tried the axe, it was all right. So now we got to try the sword, see how that does, And I'm going to split up the AC give myself a +1 to hit, +1 to damage, and a 2 on my AC. 2 swings. That is a natural 20 and a 2. So hold
Well,
on. So
Well,
It's a
actually, what is
12.
the 2 with its full?
it's a 12. Then I'm gonna use my channel divinity to make it a 22.
Well, that certainly hits as well.
So
He has added 20 to an attack roll. How does it make you feel?
That was something else.
I'm gonna start with the 22 just because that won't take as much time. So 11 and then 2d8 cold. That's 25 damage total from that first attack. The natural 20, I get a roll 66 because of savage attack. I mean, no, 46, my bad. It's not 2 attacks because savage attacks. And then I'm gonna level 3 smite. I need more d8.
I think
Holy
you just
shit.
roll 3d6. You roll an additional damage die. So it
Additional?
wouldn't be 2 more d6. Wait.
My damage die is 2d6.
Yeah. And then you double that, so that's 4, and then you roll an additional, so that's 5d6.
Oh
This is
yeah,
a
right.
natural 20, right?
Yeah. I need more d8s.
Oh, are you remembering you get cold charges on every hit?
Oh, that just does damage now. Since
You can also smite if you would wish.
I'm gonna level 3. I need a lot of d8s. I need to do math.
And also, this would be considered a fiend. So that is.
Okay, so we got 4d8 cold damage, right?
Uh-huh.
And then 10d8 from the smite, I believe.
Mhm.
Making that a total of 14d8 and 5d6.
Would you like to borrow some so you could shake them all in one big?
I don't
Four-
even have enough d8 here.
14d8 and 5d6. Yep, that is what we're on now.
If this thing
5,
doesn't
6,
die right
7,
here,
8.
Roku, you're doing something wrong.
12. I have to roll 2d8 after this. After I roll all this shit.
Would you like me to roll 2d8 for you?
No, it's all right. 10.
Okay.
I kind of take pride in this. 13,
Yeah, that's fair.
17, 20, 25 from the mall. Okay, all right. I hope you're writing this down because I'm not going to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
10, 13, 17 cold damage. I rolled kind of like fucking ass. 7, 12, 18, 23, 28, 32, 40, and then 2d8 more. 38 total from the radiant. That was 14, 10, that was 10d8, and I rolled 38 damage.
You didn't even roll average.
Yeah.
No,
On each of
that was
those.
bad.
That was
And
pretty bad.
I re-rolled my 1s and 2s because of great weapon mastery, and it's still bad.
Damn.
That's a total of something that I forgot all the numbers. So
And then did
25,
you add
17,
your,
38.
my strength?
Yeah,
That was in with the maul attacks. That was
Okay.
25.
I can confidently say, Roku, how do you want to do this?
Like I kind of put the maul axe down. Like
Mhm.
I want to use it, but it just doesn't get the job done. And then just slice them in half with my new weapon. It's like when you get something new and then your old thing's getting jealous. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
You
It's like that.
look at the bluntness of the maul that you hit him with previously. Just didn't do the job. You take this big sword and you slice him, and it just cuts him clean in two against this rock. And he balances himself on the sword for a moment until his top half begins to slide off and hits the ground. And you can see as the snake tail that is now freshly escaped from underneath the boulder is sort of like still flopping around within the water due to reflexes.
kind of sadly look at my axe and then start walking towards the other boy.
You look at it on the ground. And you're like, "I'll be back for you," and then you start walking over. How do you want to get there?
I'm just gonna move. Oh, I got 30 feet.
Still dying. Yeah.
We're working on it. We're getting there.
Do you want to try to hop up on the rock?
Yeah. I'm gonna take that run and start.
Roll a athletic check for me.
Absolutely. I rolled a 4, but it's a 13. And what else do I got? Do I have
30.
anything that can help Hogar here? Sweetie, do you have any healing spells left? Like what can you use? So you got him? Okay, I'm gonna transfer
I
my
hope so.
my shield of faith from Sweetie to Hogar. That I'm just gonna drop it and cast it again on Hogar.
Okay. Hogar's lifeless corpse becomes imbued with this nice yellow energy. So you turn Roku.
That is everything.
All right, we're up to the top with Hogar. I need you to roll a death save for me.
13.
Wrong spell.
Actually, can I
and
switch that to protection against evil and good?
What is the range of that spell?
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, just go. Just go.
That
Never
one
mind.
might be touch.
Yeah, I thought that was closer.
Okay,
from
my
my
bad.
memory.
That one's a
Keep
touch
going.
spell. Never mind. I don't know if I got
Keep
something
on going.
Hogar, roll me a Constitution saving throw. You can use your Slayer's mark prey target strike.
Supernatural defense.
Want to try that again?
I don't know. I don't know
23.
Rangers, man. What was that?
23.
All right. With a success and another successful warding off of the poisonous liquid, we are now to Sweetie.
Fuck him up.
Okay, so I was gonna use Spare the Dying, but I looked up Toll the Dead instead. So I was like, oh, 60 feet. I
Right.
got it. It's
Totally
fine.
different spells, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I looked up the wrong
Do you want to
thing.
cast Told the Dead on Hogar?
On Hogar? I might have to. No.
I'll kill you in the death.
I'll haunt you for the rest of your life. Do you think my fat ass can swim faster than my regular movement speed? Of course not. I am the god of fish, though. I am the god of fish people. Does that grant me any sort of movement speed in water?
No, unfortunately, it does not.
I'm like, I have to go talk to these
You're
fish
gonna have to
people.
negotiate. What the fuck they're going on there? If they can make a fork, battle hardened to fight a spoon, they can certainly try to give you some gills.
I will bring them the head of a demon.
Maybe bring them the pearl you already promised.
You have made.
And then have them go into battle for me.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna jump out in the water. I'll dash 50 feet of movement. Get as close to Hogar as I can.
Are you gonna go out into the water?
Yeah. This is just straight up Skyrim music. This is supposed to be battle music.
25.
That's funny because I hear nothing.
Don't 30, 40, 50, as it takes double your movement to swim.
Whistle. Whew wit. I'm not gonna actually whistle. It's too much work and it's gonna irritate my mic. Whew wit. My little sword, Tink, is gonna fly out 30 feet. Can it make it to Hogar?
Sword?
You're
20, 25, 30. Yes, it can.
Okay. I want to whistle for it to get out to there and for it not to do damage, but I want the sword to like slip into like Hogar's sleeve or something like that.
Or
So it can, like, get attached to him?
between the 3 quivers on my back.
Yeah. Or like just try to like hook onto him so I can like yoink him.
That's a
So I
sword
can drag him along.
from a certain perspective.
Yes.
Oh fuck! I froze all my shit again. Damn it! I shouldn't be drawing on a. All right, I'm gonna totally restart my computer, or else we're gonna be sitting here for a while.
All right.
Huh?
Guess that means I'm God.
See, my plan is to move you with my sword. Just
Yeah,
That's
like
kind of
drag
what
you.
Never mind.
plan.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, he's
Oh,
back.
you're back. Oh shit!
Did I stop
didn't
recording?
crash this time. No, you're still alive.
Huh. Ah, that happened. Okay, sorry. I was surprised.
Okay.
So that's a sword, obviously.
Obviously, it's sword.
And it's sort of like lands next to Hogar's body as it can't make it to him due to its limited movement. But Sweetie, is that your turn?
Yeah.
It is now this thing's turn. Sweetie. He's going to look at you. I need you to make a strength saving throw. You know the drill at this point.
Oh,
That was a
fuck up.
19.
All right. So he just hits you, and he will deal half damage. The hell is this D8? There you go.
Whoa! What? Does anyone else see that?
Holy shit. Yeah.
Oh no, Squeaky, you're getting hacked.
11, 15, 19 points of... Oh, no, sorry. Halved. 10 points of acid damage.
My eyes are like weirdly like flickering in the light. What the hell? I know
It's
this is a
behind
cheap
you.
webcam, but hell.
Avery, it's behind you.
Perfect time for the mannequin to be in the closet, Rick. Perfect fucking time.
And then he's going to do his bite double claw attack at you. The bite's going to be a 13 to hit.
Squeaky. That's you.
Oh,
Avery.
sorry. What?
13 to hit. Did you take 10 acid damage, like I said, as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. 13 misses.
Okay, and then the double claw is going to be 27
Miss.
and a 16.
Miss.
So the claw...
Yes, one of the claws hits.
7, 8, 11, 15
Down for the count.
points as you...
And the sword is now drifting in the water.
Well, Roku, it's all up to you now.
Shouldn't have dropped in the water. I'm just gonna say it. You shouldn't have dropped in the water, but you did.
Well, it was good in
Which means
theory.
I have to get in the water now.
Yeah, but you got movement. You can just be like, sploosh.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I can get. Oh, not if I have to swim out there.
Just, Roku, it is your turn, by the way. I just didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, okay. I was waiting. I didn't hear you if you said it. So I get a little bit of hit points back. That's the whole thing.
Here, there, some hit points. You know how it be.
Then I'm gonna move up to the edge. Did I use a Constitution saving spell against one of them earlier? No, that was that other boy.
Yeah,
So
that
I
was...
don't know what their
the-
Constitution is like.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna use the eye to cast Dominate Monster.
That is a wisdom save, so Constitution isn't necessary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't check. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes,
He's
you're right.
a big dummy.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not saying it, but so that is going to be a constant. So your eye sort of glows green, and it starts to emanate in their eyes as well as it rolls a wisdom saving throw.
Fail.
Does a 17 succeed?
It does not.
It gained advantage, and it rolled a natural 1. So luckily, it passed that, but it got a 16 plus a 1 wisdom. So that is going to be
It's a party.
17. as it just and drops as you are now within its mind.
Bring my friends to shore.
All right. Hogar, death save.
All right. Death save. 19. Another success.
I
Con
still.
save.
Yep.
Plus 18.
All right.
Wait,
Yet
what was
another.
that second roll for?
The poisonous water that he exudes around him.
Oh.
So it's your turn, sweetie. Death save.
14.
Hogar, he grabs a hold of you. What the fuck? Sweetie grabs a hold of you. $75, and he walks up slightly onto shore to drop off your bodies. And then as soon as he drops these collapsed unconscious bodies, he just spins around and looks up to Roku, who's standing heroically on the top of the rock, commanding him with his thoughts.
Back off into the water.
And it just kind of... Actually, it used its total movement this turn, so it has to wait until its next turn to do so. Roku, is that... Well, yeah, it's your turn now.
I'm going to go give my boys each 5 hit points out of my lay on hands pool, if I can make it to them.
No, something an action to use land hands.
Yeah.
One hand on each of us, one action.
That is not how it works.
Then I'll use my next turn to heal one or the other.
All right.
You can get Sweetie up first, I
Yeah, I'm
guess.
closer to Sweetie.
I have 2 successes.
And then I can heal him. It's perfect.
True.
Okay. Yes, and with that, Sweetie, you're back up. And it is now Hogar's turn. Another death save.
Natural 1 dice.
16. 3 successes.
And with that,
Oh,
you
he's
are
stable.
now stabilized.
Stable.
Sweetie, it is now your turn.
I'm wake up, cough, cause I died. And then look up, and scoot back,
Right, this thing is
just-
just standing there in front of you.
yeah, it's just hovering. So I'm gonna scoot back, look over at Roku, see that he's kind of looking at it, and it's just kind of sitting there obedient. I'm gonna look over, see Hogar, and just pat, 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 and give him 10 hit points.
I'm awake.
Hogar, you two, as well, sort of sit up and sort of scramble back as this thing is just sitting there above you, breathing very heavily, looking blank in its stare.
We gonna kill it?
I suppose we can ask it some questions if it's sentient first.
And once again, it sits there just breathing for its turn. Roku, it is now your turn.
Can you understand me?
Just stares at you, breathing.
I'm going to ask him an abyssal.
And he immediately snaps his head. And he, yes, I do.
In abyssal, I presume.
Yeah. Were you sent here to attack the fire guard?
Of course.
By whom?
By our Lord.
What's his name?
I'm afraid I do not know his real name.
What does he go by?
We simply...
Scrambling.
We only know of him as the Maldives.
Are you from Sarask, I'm assuming?
Not originally.
Is this where you're stationed?
No. I was just swimming out here.
Can he be sarcastic underneath the spell?
Probably. But probably not. He seems to only respond to what you are directly asking him. You have direct control over him, so.
How many demons are in Sarask?
A lot.
What kind of fortifications?
A lot.
During this interaction, I want to look over at Hogar panics, and then like halfway through, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh wait," just hit my helmet just so I can be like, "Oh wait, I can understand this."
You can
shit.
just generally understand what they're talking about as they're just sitting here like, and then Roku will be like,
I'm gonna stab you so
Oh, he
bad.
brings up a valid point.
Quite the scholar, honestly. We could be friends.
Oh shit! Want to grab a beer?
I'm gonna get up and walk 15 feet away from the thing.
During this interaction, I want to just kind of like hold my hand in the sky and just kind of hum to myself. And I want the sword to come back so it doesn't just drift out to sea.
it eventually makes its way out from the waves and comes back to your person.
I'm gonna command it to walk back to the fire guard post. Is it more than an hour's walk?
No, it took you guys like 5 minutes and you guys were kind of like jogging.
Okay, we're gonna take the same tempo back to the gate.
All right. As you start to move towards the gate with it, it slowly slinks along behind you, and you notice that its pace on land is significantly shorter than that in its water.
So, are we going to kill it?
Well, we're not gonna keep it alive once I can't control it.
How long is that?
Well, we can. Well, it was a slave camp, right? They must have cages.
I don't think they'll want this thing alive after they're done talking to it.
Well, I mean, we can put it in a cage for the time being.
Then it won't answer questions after it's in a, when you put it in a cage, it won't let me answer our questions. So
Why is Master Chief in Fortnite? Why is that a notification on my computer?
Just for all the Smash Bros.
I'm assuming Chief Pontar is much more of a military Pazar. Pazar.
Different noun.
Those are-
Different. They're different. Different.
Poser.
Vowel.
Pozar. Okay. Anyway, I'm assuming he's more of a tactical strategist, and he'll want whatever information he has. He's much more adept in the art of war. I'm assuming, anyway.
And as you guys start to walk back, you take a couple steps and you stand there for a moment as it slowly shifts forward amongst the sand. And you walk a couple more steps forward. And you stand there and look back as it moves at less than half of your speed.
Are there any more demons around here, or are you the only group?
Unfortunately, even with your dominate monster spell, you cannot make things smarter than they are truly.
Yeah.
But yes, it takes you significantly longer to try to get back to the wall and the city of Sko-Tua that you know of, due to this thing's very sluggish body type.
Are we at the gate?
After about 10 to 12 minutes of moving, you eventually break the tree line and move towards the gate. And as you do so, you hear, you look at the man up in the guard tower, and he spots you and like looks over, and then, "You've got a demon following you!" And he cranks back this crossbow he has up in the tower, and he launches a bolt directly at it.
Oh well.
Wait, before he were done yelling, wait, he still fires?
Yes. Even if you would have waited for you guys to go, wait, he still continues to launch this bolt at the demon behind you. As apparently the run-ins with the demons they've had before, it has a very no-nonsense policy with this sort of a being around here. And with that,
Does he get to re-roll his save?
it is going to be a 19 as he snaps back to consciousness and just,
You idiot. And
Those are marked 2 arrows.
I don't have enough charges to do it again, so I guess we're killing it.
Well,
yeah, it's gonna, as it springs back.
can we get initiative again?
Can I dominate monster?
You can
I can
start.
do 3 times a day, motherfucker.
Roll me initiative again, as we are gonna have a little bit more of a run in this.
Fuck, I'm
I
gonna get
rolled a
last
16
initiative.
this time, so I get an 18. Is that better than good? I think
I
that's
rolled
great.
a 25.
I rolled a 4.
All right, you know what? All right, you Dex boys, shut up.
I rolled a 4, so my initiative's a 9.
You have a +5 dex.
I forget what it is, but I had something that was like,
Forget what it is.
what was it?
Oh yeah, jack of all trades.
Yeah,
I think you're a
yeah.
bard and paladin.
Hogar, you immediately spot this thing as it snaps back in reality. What would you like to do?
Shoot it. I'm gonna shoot it twice.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Sharp shots after I put a hunter's mark on it. All right. A 15 does not hit, sadly. Probably.
No, it does not.
But I'm going to just take a wild guess and say a 26 does.
That would be a correct guess.
Right. I'm just gonna feel this in the morning. 11, 13 plus 16, 29 piercing damage. I do
Sorry, what was that?
29 piercing damage.
29 piercing damage. All right. With that, it gets shot a couple times in the face, and it looks rather angrily towards the group of people in front of it, as it does not have its go-to ability to spew water at you all.
Whip.
It is going to simply walk up to Roku, the cause of all of his recent troubles, as he knows he has indeed been dominated. and he does not like it, as he's going to go for the bite. It's going to be a 19.
Roku?
Yeah.
Okay, good, not me.
Yeah, I don't have my sword up anymore.
The claw is 26, and the other claw is 12.
The one of those claws miss.
Bite is going to be 39 points of piercing damage.
What the goddamn? Yeah. Yeah, ouch.
The one claw is going to be 16 points of slashing damage.
That's also ouch.
But that is going to be the extent of his turn, as we will now go to Roku.
Murder.
Mhm.
Slip my wrist.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put all three of my things into attack. So +3 to hit, +3 damage. That's a 27 and a 22.
Those both certainly hit.
All right. I'm just gonna do the cold damage here. All right, why not? We're gonna smite on both of them too.
Mhm.
So that's gonna
It
be
is indeed a fiend.
6 d8 and then 4. That's 10 d8.
Is it better than last time?
Honestly, it might be 11, 13, 16, 21 from the mall. $24 cold damage. And 36 radiant damage.
All right, how do you want to do this?
I'm a bitch slap the hoe with the Vecna hand, and it's gonna combine the cold and the lightning from the radiant. It's gonna send the hoe fucking flying.
You just like wrap it so as the energy just like cackling from you, and you just and it just connects and sends this thing launching into the ocean from whence it resides. But you take assurance in knowing that it did indeed die, as its head turned completely 180 degrees around before it flew off into the distance. And you guys all like sit there watching the thing fly, and then all of a sudden just another lazy crossbow bolt lands beside you.
As it's my turn in the initiative.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Oh shit. As it's
You're
my
an
turn in
idiot.
the initiative, I'm gonna turn up to him. You're an idiot. You could obviously tell it was under our control.
What? Under your control, the thing was following you, and you were turning a blind eye to it. Yeah, I did you a favor.
I mean, he was talking to it.
Did he not see how it was calmly walking with us? Like, almost beside us?
It's
And not
fine. Let's
attacking
go
us?
talk to Pozar.
We got some information. I'm gonna cut off this demon's hands.
You're cutting
Roll a
off the
survival
demon's
check.
hands?
Yeah, the hook hands.
Oh, he's just 2 sickles.
Oh, that's a nice 19.
With that, yeah, it's hook hands. They're pretty easy to attach. They're just cut them off at the wrist, hook hands, and yeah, you can see on them they have barbs that drive things deeper in when trying to be yanked out, which you've experienced firsthand, as you now have a gash directly cutting your stomach open, and Sweet Tea can tell you by the gash in his sides that there definitely is not a pleasant experience.
Oh yes, we got
Hey,
Aoku, Hogario, and Sweet Tea.
Garrett Jerkins.
Hey, Hogar,
Yes.
do you mind cutting off its head for me? I have a good use for that. Don't worry, it's nothing weird.
It's something
All right.
weird.
It's just a sex thing. It's nothing weird.
oh. I try to cut off its head with my scimitar and my silver scimitar.
Roll another survival check.
I guess it was another 19.
Yeah, once again, as you're not cutting out some sort of intricate organal system or weird limbs, no, literally just cut off its head.
Here you
I suppose you guys would have to go
birthday.
back to the beach, drag the demon body back, and then cut its head off, due to the fact that it was launched into the wilderness.
Oh,
But yeah, the neck has been loosened, the skin around it, due to the fact its head is 180 degrees around, so the head just comes off easily. You can just jostle it and it sort of just, the rest of the body falls off.
Godly bitch slap.
yep. Just no head.
Take the head.
Here's your happy birthday.
I assume I'm wearing a belt of some kind.
Presumably, yes.
So I don't know if you ever played The Witcher. That's
I
just
have
going
not.
right on my
I
belt.
have.
Okay.
Shouldn't be for too long, but for right now, it's gonna be on my belt.
You use the spine to sort of like tuck it on in, and then the rest of it dangles below as its mouth is like slightly askew and its tongue is like flopping lazily as you walk.
Don't worry, it's not weird. It's
Sure.
Sex thing.
Sure.
okay, but think of it like this. Think of how my people will appreciate me if I take out
Have
this thing
sex
that
with
was
their
terrorizing their waters.
That was not their waters. Their waters are all the way fucking with, all the way back near.
I mean, it was only like a little bit that way as I point up the shore.
You just kind of like throw your hand out.
I mean, it wasn't that far, was
It
it?
was pretty. It
It
was,
was just like past the
by
waterfront,
the
right?
water. It was past the waterfront on the way to Trust, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it
on the
was
coast of Sarask.
It was north
Sarask,
over there.
Sarask, we'll see him here in a bit.
I'm gonna shout up to the guard. Let us in.
The chain lowers down the door,
I walk in.
and he gives you sort of a scowl as you walk in, all of you, and yeah, you don't take too kindly to any demon paraphernalia parading about, but
It was a prisoner. You bozo.
oh, you didn't see the thing. It was coming from the trees.
I know where it was. Where's
Ah,
Posar?
I don't know. Where is he? I told you to fetch him. Oh, but 20 minutes ago.
Did you not go get him yourself?
No, you said you'd take care of it, and frankly, I thought reporting your dead bodies would be a lot funnier.
Well, we did take care of it. There's no one.
So we took care of it,
over there.
and then you kill our prisoner.
He wasn't a prisoner. These demons, they don't negotiate.
I hope you lose your post.
He wasn't negotiating.
I
He
worked
was
hard for this post.
forcefully.
Get out of me sight. You disgust me. And he spits down in your general direction.
I'm gonna do it right back.
Just up the tower.
Oh, I forgot he was up there.
He spit the entire
Don't
20,
do it.
30 feet.
Rocket spit right back at him.
Falls kind of in front of you.
Going to look
Well.
for Posar.
Yeah, they look for Posar.
All right, yeah. As you walk into town further, not much has changed since you've last left. The days proceeded a bit onward. You guys have taken on egregious amounts of wounds, but other than that, same as always.
Does my hand heal me outside of combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be, 60 times a minute, right? Isn't that how that works?
60
6
down a
seconds.
minute.
10 times a minute. Every 6 seconds, 10 times a minute. So a D10 every 6 seconds. So yeah, if you're out of combat for like an hour at the most, you're back to full.
Safe to say is like after this little
thing we're going to talk about, you're going to be back at full.
Honestly, Roku, like if you just, I think you should just try to stall social situations so you could heal for longer. So, how about that weather? Aren't you gonna go fight? No, wait a minute. I'm not on the way up there.
No,
Just 1 second.
Here's the stalling. While we stall, Roku heals, and Hoga puts up Slayer's Prey and Hunted Mark.
Yeah, that's honestly it.
Like,
And Sweetie goes,
wait,
"Can I lift up that rock over there while we're talking?"
let's just take like 30 seconds to talk it out here, okay?
Hey, I can still lift up one more rock today.
Thank God.
Should have lifted up that guy's post and dropped him.
I'm sure that would have a wonderful effect on the general public.
Honestly.
Did
He
you say
fucked up my
drugged
thing.
him,
I was going
or-
to do a thing, and he shot my thing.
Oh, well.
He shot his thing, Rick.
He shot my thing.
I'm sorry.
Shot him in the thing.
These guys don't like demons. I know.
Shot him in the
They're
thing.
not
Nobody
like
does.
His thing in the thing.
you get the impression that not everyone has seen the amounts of magic that there are in the world, and having to mind controlling a demon out of the question, not a thing, so
I wasn't just mind controlling it. I was like mind raping it, if you will.
that's
It was
I fail to
aggressive.
see how those
It
two
was a
are
thing.
different things. Because it was aggressive, that's what makes it rape
Yeah.
instead of just control. That makes
Yeah.
sense. It wasn't consensual, so but yeah, you guys make your way through the oh god, way too familiar streets of Sko-Tua. Back to that, you see the sort of where they set up before when the city was occupied, sort of on the outskirts of town at the base of the mountains a bit. They've sort of set that up as a training area, a big field, and it seems as though you've only been gone for about 20 minutes or so. The training hasn't really stopped.
Posar. Is he still
Through the
hanging
hatchet
around the
throwing.
trading?
If you're trying to look for him, roll me perception checks through the sea of muscular men.
Oh,
one.
shit.
I'm
6.
eating cheese in the corner.
That's a 22.
For some reason, you get the average perceptive Hogar is too distracted by his cheese, and Roku's like, "Is that cheese?" And he looks back, and Sweetie is like, for the once focused so hard on the mission and basket at hand. And he looks through, and he sees even farther past the training fields. There's a bit of a what's that thing called? Amphitheater. A bit of an amphitheater. You sort of see this sort of raised seating has been, it sort of like, raises up, and then it focuses on this small circular platform that a large bonfire is getting started in.
Guys,
Oh,
this
yes.
way. I
There's
just
a-
like start marching.
Okay. Eating cheese while I follow.
You just like yank Roku's hand, and at the last second he grabs a hold of Hogar, and like you guys all start shifting your way, dodging hatchets as they're thrown past your head.
I sit on Roku's shoulders.
You climb up his body with your boots of spider climbing. You sit on his shoulder, and you get bumped into by people that are like sparring each other with weapons. They like body into you, and you're like, "Do you mind?" And they start hitting each other. And you make it all the way to the small amphitheater area with that sort of concave sort of shell around the back to amplify your voice. Yeah, they have this bonfire in the middle, and you see Posar start to like lift and move around his hands, and the tattoos around, or the burn scars around his arms start moving. You can see the snake itself start winding up and down his arm, and the bonfire starts slowly rising from the base all the way to the top as it's like set up in this triangular TP-esque formation that the smoke pours heavily through.
I'm Mr. Posar, sir. Chief Posar.
And as you speak to him, he sort of like breaks his concentration, and the fire just vanishes. And hey, what's new?
Wait, the bonfire, like the wood is all set, right?
Yeah.
So sorry about that. And I'm just gonna snap, and I want to cast Prestidigitation, starting a flame.
You and you light the very tip of a log, just like, and it immediately gets snuffed out due to the large area surface area of this fire and your ability to start a small flame.
I hop off Rocky's back.
Oh, I thought that would.
So
Anyway, solved a little pat my hip demon problem for you.
we found a demon outside. We killed it. Well, three
Well,
demons. They're all
Three
dead.
of them.
Pretty hefty blow to those demons then, eh?
No. They were
Well,
all
it would have been if we were able to bring it back inside to interrogate it.
No,
We had
you
your
can't
guard
talk to
post
demons. Trust me. They're not reasoned with, you know. They're not intelligent creatures.
exactly. That's why we just took control of it. And then we were talking to it.
mind
He
in
was.
my hand.
magic.
You put his mind in your hand.
They control the creature's mind.
Trust me, there's no way you can control these type of things. They're wild, chaotic animals.
I was doing it.
Sir, you see my this ring
That's besides
here?
the point. We learned
it's
some
magic.
things.
Right. I know magic. I understand the concept.
Okay. Anyways, we were gonna bring in this demon for us to talk to. We had a little bit of a discussion with it. I caught the tail end of the conversation. Basically, there's hundreds, a lot more of demons. 3 is not a blow to them at all in Sarask. There's a lot.
And we're gonna be fighting them, right?
Yep. They have, I quote, a lot of fortifications and a lot of demons.
And these are the weaker ones. We fought their commanders, and we fought demon lords. This guy was very weak compared to them,
Roku?
and still kicked our ass.
So I think that we need to take advantage of the surprise attack and coordinated assault.
Yeah.
We're lucky they didn't get away.
Lucky indeed. And the
All of them
surprise
dead.
attack takes place
One is pudding.
2 days from now.
We get back in contact with Dante in 2 days.
All right. I'm just saying that it's not much of a surprise attack at that point.
In 2 days?
If one of my groups goes missing for 2 days, odds are they met some opposition along the way.
How do you mean?
Well, knowing my...
Are you talking about Dante?
No, I mean, well, yeah, actually, that's a good point. You send out a group of guys to go fight some demons, and they don't come back within at least 2 days. You start
Dante's
to give
not
up.
fighting. He's gathering his forces, getting ready.
It was a metaphor. You see, the demons, they sent out this group, right? The 3 of those, you know, and he points to like the head on your belt. 3 of those snake things.
3?
So are you saying we should move now?
You told me there was 3.
There were 2 snake things and 1 other thing.
Why would I?
One thing was like
know
a
that?
shapeshifter. He
That's a
he
good
turned
one.
into one of your men,
You guys
and we thought
I
do
shot him.
not listen very easily, do you?
No, I thought you knew something we didn't.
If some guy is sending out these demons,
I understand
In
what
parties.
you're saying. Are you saying we should move now?
I'm saying that I would prefer to move when everyone is in coordination. I was just swaying against what surprise attack you may have had of mind.
So the original plan.
I'm not the coordinator. I'm just saying, if they were my demons, I wouldn't be surprised.
Good to know. Plan goes on. Tonight we'll leave after your ceremony. We'll be back in contact with you after we get in contact with Dante in 2 days.
Sounds good to me. And of course, if you need a place to stay, we can figure something out. As long as you don't try to, bring any more demons in our city limits or try to fight anyone. I mean, outside of the sparring, just you guys tend to
Do that
make
sort of
waves.
stuff. Do what we please.
Yeah.
I was going to bring him in here. You were going to ask him some questions.
Well, friends, we have 2 days until we have to be in contact with Dante.
I think
What
it might
should
have
we
been
do?
smarter if we had one person go ahead and say, "Hey, don't shoot. This thing is under our control." And then we could have. I think it
They just
might have
didn't
worked
want
a
it
little
in
better.
town in general. I can respect
Well, we could
that.
have brought it outside. We could have had this discussion outside.
I didn't think
We're
he'd
gonna have
shoot
the-
at it.
Well, I don't think
What did you
anyone
think he
thought
was
he
going
would
to
do
do?
that.
I thought I was going to shoot at it.
Well, we took it out pretty quickly afterwards, so
Yes.
If you don't mind, I need to focus on this next part a little bit harder
yeah.
than most.
We'll leave you be.
He sits down once again on the ground and begins moving his hands, creating
right.
some sort of magic as the fire begins to start at the base once again.
well, we should leave this guy alone so he can get his ritual started.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Let's
Um,
go back to town.
Suppose let's go catch a long rest before the ceremony.
So, team, we have 2 days to kill. What should we do?
Well, we're going to recon tonight.
Recon.
Play music. No more combat.
We're going to check out Serath ourselves,
Yes.
and then
Part of the original plan.
we're taking the shadow crossing that seems
Yes.
there, right?
The foot of the
Mountain.
mountains right outside of Sko-Tua. There's a portal, and there's one connecting right into the center of the lake.
Yes. I wonder if that apple tree that I was here last time is still here. Those are some good apples.
Yeah, so now that you guys sort of wander off on your own, where would you like to go?
I want to find the apple tree I was hiding in last time.
Remind me again what that was?
There was a tree near the beach which for some reason had apples in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was just a joke at the time.
I don't remember an apple tree
Probably
at all.
was. I don't recall this at all. But
then don't worry about it.
okay, you can of course go to the southern limits of the city if you wish. If a long rest is in order, then you merely have to just find a place to rest.
Let us look for
It's the
somewhere.
plan, man.
Yes.
I want to look over to the houses where the slaves used to stay. Are those still really shitty rundown houses, or?
They've been improved, but you can tell, yet again, they've been built upon the same foundations. They didn't waste a lot of time on those general houses. More, barracks have been built that look generally nicer. But yeah, the slave houses have stayed in their rundown metal scraps state.
This is a dumb question, but do any look uninhabited?
Roll me a perception check.
Uh, 21.
As you look around, you notice that there are lights, or firelight, candles inside of most of these houses, but there's one that is in fact so run down that you see plants growing within the windows. You see vines that have overgrown and are spilling up upon every light access to the house.
Hey guys, I think I found a place for us to stay. May not be the coziest, but well, actually I don't know. And I just want to kind of start approaching the house.
Do any of you have
house?
any objections to that house?
Which house is it?
Oh, this one. Then I point to the one with like vines. I take it growing out the windows and
Yeah.
shit.
Slave house,
Uh,
pretty run down, except it has just
Let's see if
plants
there's anything in
blooming.
there. Or anyone.
There shouldn't be anyone in here, right? Try and open the door.
We can knock first, sweetie.
There's plants growing out of the windows.
Some people like the aesthetic.
I put my hand on the door to like brace to like open it, and then hello, anybody home?
Oh, do come in.
Oh no. No. No.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
Oh,
Open the
I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. Oh, well, we were just looking for an empty place to stay.
The door sort of moves open, and you see a woman, obviously taller than you, sweetie, but short as well. Seems to be dwarven in nature, with a more kempt than the rest of them. She does not have the similar burn scars down her, but she does wear a tool belt and is carrying sort of a watering can. And from what you can see as she opens the house, there are just flower pots and different plants that are decorated all over the room.
Wait a minute.
Now, why do you two look so familiar? Do I know you from somewhere?
I think so. This is the lady. This is Boomhilda, right? Not Boomhilda. Something. Was that what her name?
Roll a history check.
It was.
Why,
was
yes, it is Broomhilda. I do remember you too. Now you look to be a bit more of a stranger. Hi, I'm Broomhilda.
Who's this directed to?
Roku, yeah, you're the stranger here.
Okay. Extend my hand in a greeting.
Now, tell me once again, why are you knocking on my door today?
Oh, I don't mean this to mean rude or anything, but we saw the vines growing out the windows and we thought this house was uninhabited. We were just looking for a place to.
The aesthetic.
I do like the aesthetic.
Um,
Well, I don't take offense. I used to be a bit ashamed of all this mess, but it's how I choose to spend my time.
You know, that's a good way of looking at it. But we were just looking for a place to take a nap for a bit.
Well, I do have a couple of spare cots, but I'm afraid they were used long before I inhabited this place of residence, if you know what I mean.
Were they destroyed or
No, they were just
had sex
used
on?
back when the slaves were still here. They weren't treated the best, and well, you know, the kind of beat up.
Slaves aren't treated the best.
Exactly. So that's about all I got. I have my bed, but I'm afraid that's for me.
No, we don't want to take your bed.
No.
How many spare cots do you have?
Oh, I folded them up in the closet so long ago, I'll have to go check. Why don't you all come in? I can make you something. Do you drink tea, anybody?
As long as it's not that one plant from back then. Give like a little like joking nudge.
You mean the kind that poisons you?
Yeah, when that all those shenanigans went on. Don't want that type of tea.
Right, I do feel mighty guilty that I was wrapped up in that whole thing, even though I didn't, you know, do the
Hey,
killing.
You didn't know that they would use your plants for a murder weapon. It's fine.
A murder? Didn't you solve the mystery?
Well, no, it wasn't a murder weapon, but yeah, it was a weapon of suspicion. Is that the right
Yes,
term?
The plant wasn't used at all in the killing.
No, it was just
I know,
it
but-
was a bit of a joke between the dueling races that was on the ship. Roku,
Yeah,
do you know this story? Come sit down. Would you like some tea as well?
I've never had tea.
You never. Well, I'll go
Right,
make
so
you
you
some.
should try that right away.
And come on in, come on in.
um, yeah. Can I have some sweet tea?
Well,
Ha,
absolutely.
Right, so I'm going to smack you, sweetie.
As you guys walk in, as you push the door open, you hear the sliding of ceramic pots against the floor. And you look around and you see again those ceramic pots and planters in the windows that have grown to exorbitant lengths, some of which that are harboring some sort of herbs, and some of which have different leaves that she plucks off as she walks by into this small kitchen area. And she opens up this closet door in the back area as well, and she goes, well, if you can find a place to sit, go on ahead. And she opens the door and you hear like the sliding of the pots once more as she
That sits on the wall.
you do like the equivalent of like sits, like the exercise, like just doing it, but like in midair, so you're like crouched, hovering over the very odd position. I have just enough cots for the rest of you if you want to go ahead and use them.
That would be
Thank
much
you.
appreciated. We've already had a really long day, and we want to prepare ourselves for the ceremony tonight.
Oh yes, I've heard all about that, and while I have found my home with the fire guard, I don't partake in their religious activities. I don't know what you want to call them, but it's not really my style.
Completely understandable.
Roku, have you ever heard the story of one murder mystery while we were aboard the Storm Crawler?
Well, no, I have not.
Why, it was... Sweet, why don't you go ahead and tell him while I fix us up some tea.
Yes, there's
While a
the
bit bleak,
storyteller.
it's probably the most interesting thing that's ever happened in my time.
Okay, so the entire story about the plants and the storm crawler, you know the storm crawler. Before you arrived, there was a little bit of a
Race war.
race war. Let's call it a race war.
It was a
Where-
race war.
Were they humans?
They were a human and an elf.
These human elf people, they didn't really get along with this orc man on the ship. And so this orc man, they got in a fight. The orc man used Miss Hilda's here, her plants. One of them happened to be poisonous, and he poisoned the water supply so that he would poison the ones that were making fun of him all the time. And he ended up getting a lot of people on the ship upset. And one of the people he made sick was this wizard's bird. Okay, so this wizard, he was like this really shy guy
And the
who
bird
had
died.
yeah, his bird died, and it was like that was his only thing because he was a wizard and he was a sad, lonely man. So after that, he got furious, and then in the middle of the night, he murdered that orc man because after we found out that he basically poisoned the bird, this guy got pissed and murdered him. Well, we didn't know it was him that murdered the orc guy. We thought it was the elf guy because they weren't liking each other. So that we thought it was him, but he was like, "Nah, we are cool." And then there was this whole thing about we don't know who did it. And then when we finally found out the wizard, he basically fireballed the ship, and we all almost died. And then we solved the mystery, and that guy was taken to jail, I presume.
As Broomhilda brings in these teacups, Well, you forgot to mention the part why he fireballed the ship. This certain angry man twisted the damn bird's head all the way around. It was
Oh yeah.
horrific.
You remember your best friend Ferris, right? Well, he thought that this was before the bird. Actually, the bird didn't die. He just got sick. That's what it was. The bird, this guy, we thought it was him, but we weren't 100% sure. But when we were this close to figuring it out, Ferris took the bird, and we were trying to get information from the wizard guy. And then when he wasn't talking, Ferris snapped the bird's neck, so he got really, really, really upset. And that's when he fireballed all of us.
Oh, good old Ferris. Always the logical thinker.
The wizard used some.
Hey, you're the one who brought him back, right?
Anyways, here's some tea. Yours is sweet by demand, and I hope you
thank you.
enjoy.
Sip.
I don't like tea, so I'm assuming that Roku doesn't like it either.
Yeah,
So
I was hoping you would not ask me how you feel about tea, because I'm like, I don't know, how does Roku like tea, you know? It's dirty leaf water. I don't know.
Personally, I hate tea. But a drug addict, let's go with he loves tea.
Yeah, it's nice and warm.
Homer likes food. Drinks.
Anyways, I have these herbs that, you know, imbue you with some strength when you take one dose. But when you take 2 doses, it makes you violently ill. And, well, that was used to play a prank amongst the people. And, well, the rest is history. And, frankly, back then, I had a bit of a disdain for you people as she looks towards Roku.
You people.
It's, you know, just how I was raised, but, you know, after everything, my worldview was limited before, but now I think I'm in the right place.
Roku, you should have seen the face on the elf when I smiled at him. And I smiled, flashing my 2 tusks.
Got a little baby tusks.
Little baby tusks.
What's up with all the weird crossbreeds in this group? I just realized.
Sweetie,
Roku's the most normal one, and he's a demigod. So
Sweetie, we literally had a little story bit about that when you were in jail after destroying what's her nuts?
Ataka's show.
Ataka, yeah. I know it was a weird name that had a word plus A.
Attack A. ATACA, I believe.
Yeah, we had
ATAKKA. So
we had
it was 2 Ks.
A whole moment about being genetic disasters.
Well, that's history.
Yep, now you're still druggy.
Well, I appreciate the company. I have a bit more gardening to do, and then I'm gonna try to fix up the neighbor's house a little bit, you know. Carpentry is still a bit of my passion, even when it's not on the old storm crawler. But you folks are welcome to stay whenever you want. I have no quarrels with letting you in, as long as you don't mind a bit of clutter from the different plants. But
does she have any shelves on the wall with plants on them?
She has a bookshelf that has been used to just be a planter.
So all of the other plants are just kind of on the floor? There's not like on shelves or anything?
There's not furniture besides her bed. Yeah, there's large flower pots in the corners, and then they sort of get smaller in the towards the middle of the room. There's space to walk, but that's about it.
You might want to invest in like some shelves like along this long wall. Maybe like have some plants up there. Put some of your pots up.
The metal sheets they use to make the walls aren't sturdy enough to hold up any sort of shelving.
Okay.
I'm hoping to upgrade to something better soon, but I just don't have the money for it right now. I mean, carpentry's a bit of my thing, but you know, I don't tend to overcharge.
Do you sell any plants? I feel like you might be able to make some money off of like breeding certain plants and selling them.
Well, it's always, been a hobby to me. I guess I never even considered that.
You could probably plant some really good like vegetables or something and sell them to have your nice little like produce market.
Yes, like potatoes and carrots and corn.
Good thinking. I will take that into mind.
Really a small time vegetable, so well, big field vegetable.
Especially like maybe open your own little like have a little farmer's market and maybe like a neighbor or something like that who's a cook. You can like open like a little shop together and like sell stews and soups and I don't know.
Corn.
That could be a good way of earning money.
That is so cute. You're quite the savvy little businessman, aren't you?
Definitely.
Just a beaming ray of confidence. You
had experience from being a drug dealer.
Hey, it's a business.
It's a business.
Well, I did not mean to bore you at all, but I must tend to a couple of things. You guys can go ahead and make yourself at home.
All right.
Okay. How are we setting up these cots?
Is there a front porch?
No, there's just like a staircase that leads up to it, and then dirt. Yeah.
Is there a place under the staircase?
No, it's not that big of a stairs. It's just a couple steps up,
Under the staircase.
Is there a backyard?
Outside?
Outside. Dirt.
Okay.
Right by the
Is there a backyard?
You sort of like walk into this kitchenette area and you pull out this basically an ironing board from the closet that folds out, that has legs. That Sweetie actually has like cut out of these before, carried around just like canvases. But yeah, these sort of like, they're almost coffin shaped little cots basically. Yeah, nothing special, something to lay down on. You can just take it, you walk outside and you just sort of kick out the legs and place it, grind it into the dirt a little bit to sturdy it out.
And I'm going to take off my armor because we're going on a stealth mission, and heavy armor won't be very useful.
The first time in a while you decide to doff your armor.
Take off my leather armor while I sleep because I'm not a savage.
I'm gonna have
okay, I know what kind of a savage.
I'm put my helmet on with a step to look over me while I'm sleeping.
Right.
And anyway, my armor is just like a leather jacket with some stuff.
Which doesn't really make sense, but yeah.
It's just studded leather armor. Even though that's just leather armor.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my cot and I want to. Is there a backyard?
The backyard is just the front yard of another slave house establishment.
I want to go in between two houses. And I want to put my cot out right there, and I want to take off my half plate.
All right, yeah. You all you guys really forget the comforts of taking off armor, as most of the time you've slept with it on.
Mine's just extra clothes.
Yeah. Speaking specifically towards the people that carry around, armor that weighs upwards of 40 pounds to even whatever full 65. Plate is, 65.
I mean, I sleep with my bow.
And yeah, you guys all take off your stuff to various degrees and finally relax, airing it out a bit, which helps a lot. It's a very disgusting smell. All the sweat and the water, all the times you guys have gotten wet and it's just dried without any airing out.
Is it though? Is it disgusting, Rick?
No, it's very fresh. Got a nice bit of fruity scent left in the air, nice and.
That's what I thought.
Do you guys decide to long rest?
Yes. Long rest, long rest, long rest.
All right. Approximately 8 hours later, you all wake up. Now nighttime, the moon shining down over Sko-Tua, and you guys hear in the distance this
Starting.
some sort of
Oh,
tribal drumming that has started that all sort of acts as an alarm clock for you.
Pull up a cot, put it in the closets. Wait for my buddies to do the same.
Get up, put my sweater back on, and I'm gonna run back over. Or just run to the place. I don't care about my armor. I want to see this.
All right, Roku.
My cot back. I want to talk to Broomhilda real quick.
You sort of all transfer your cots inside, and she goes, "Enjoy the show. I'm afraid I'm not gonna go watch. It's just not for me. I think I might go to bed early tonight." And she goes to the back left corner of her house and starts taking flower pots off of her bed. And she doesn't have enough room in her house, so she has to store some on her bed.
If you would like, you can have my armor and sell it. I no longer have use for it.
I'm sorry, what?
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 You don't need your armor? What are you wearing under your armor?
More
What do your
armor.
clothes look like? I have to know this stuff.
I could fetch you a little bit of gold and you could move out of this place.
That comes with a lot of gold. It's magical.
Well, I appreciate the kindness, but what sort of motivations do you have to help me move out of here?
To be honest, this place is ugly. I
Oh.
cannot imagine living in here.
Well, that's kind of you. Say, what was your name again?
Roku.
I'll remember you, Roku.
And I'm gonna put it on the floor and set the helmet on top of it.
And
Just
remember,
sort of like,
that's magical armor, so don't just sell it for normal.
Who do you wears your armor?
No shit.
I'm gonna run back outside. Half plate is just like the chest plate, right?
Hmm.
Oh, and I guess I have the
Chest plate.
helmet.
you
of
have the
understanding
helmet,
languages.
you have like a mask that is like sometimes it makes sense for you to wear, sometimes it doesn't. Got a little monocle on top of the
doll.
mask. Yeah, porcelain doll face
I have a
mask.
porcelain doll face mask that I
Mhm.
completely forgot about. Yeah, no, I definitely have that.
I mean, I have arrows upon arrows upon arrows.
And all of you make your way to the sounds of tribal drumming.
Oh,
And
guys.
as you look upon the wide open grassland that is the field of training, you see the fires lit up, providing this bright beacon in the darkness of the ritual, the ceremony that's taking place as you all move your way towards it. The drums start getting louder and the festivities, the noises of the people start increasing as well as you move towards it. And at the head of it all, on the front of this sort of stage area, is Chief Pozar. You see his tattoos moving around him. The artwork that coats his body via burns just starts moving and cascading with the rhythm of the music. And suddenly the doo, 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 doo rhythm doo, doo, stops. And the crowd starts cheering to fill the silence in the absence of music. When Pozar raises his head, the audience starts to quiet. And as you guys approach, there aren't many places left to sit, but you kind of stand amongst the crowd in beneath these like bleacher-like areas. Tonight, many of our young will transition their way into Fire Guard warriors. Present them! And out from around the corner is children you'd presume are no more over the age of probably 12. All of them are very prepubescent, sort of, but they're wearing that similar, the black coated armor, but fit for obviously children of their size. You see dwarves, Goliath, orcs, half-orcs, all of most varieties. Amongst them, you also see a human and an elf, which are rather unlikely and not seen amongst this trio, or not this trio, this group of fire guard. Boy, and he turns his head to the small dwarven boy who stands before him. Are you ready to face the elements? And the boy sort of like furls himself and gives a nod. Then you may step forward and be reborn through the flame. And the young boy takes a couple steps forward and jumps into the big bonfire pit. And as soon as he jumps into the fires, the crowd stands up and cheers as the flames blow up even higher. And suddenly the flames go back to their average sort of slower burn as Pozar leans over the side of this fire pit. And suddenly the small charred hand reaches up and he pulls himself upward. His arms now coated in burns that resemble tattoos and great artwork. His eyes now a starch red, glowing this heat. As he pulls himself out of the fire pit, the crowd cheers and his hands erupt into flames. And he pulls himself upward. Noticeably, his muscles have gained like tone, and he's become a lot stronger looking, as well as a lot fiercer. His hair still retains its shape somehow, and he steps up. Congratulations, boy, you've passed. And he sort of walks away. And next up, boy, are you ready? And you see this Goliath kid sort of like snort and step into the flames once more. Again, the flames rise throughout the air, and the suspenseful silence is filled as the drums start up once more, until the charred hand emerges once more from this fire pit, provoking even more of uproarious applause. And finally, it gets to the small elf boy, who seems to face this general audience with a fake resolve in his eyes as he's shaking in his hands, and you can see it. Prepare to face the test of the elements. And the boy very, very cautiously looks over the side, and upon a sort of reassurance pat from Pozar, he sort of like jumps, and he instinctually jumps into the fires that and the fires cackle, and the drums start. And once the fires reside to a slower burn, Pozar peeks back into the pit. The drums continue playing. And a small charred hand reaches over the side, and people cheer, and he grabs the other side, and he pulls himself up and slips. The fire erupts in flames again, like almost spewing like a volcano.
Born twice.
I'm afraid we have our first failure. From ashes to ashes, as nature resolves it to be. Next up, boy. And you can see that the next guy in line's like, and this sort of trial continues. And you see the next 8 make it out alive. Or the first 8 people make it out alive, and there were 2, the elf and a dwarf in the mix that have lost their privilege to live along the way.
right after you got done with the whole thing about like we lost our first Hunter Islers typed in chat poggers. So sorry about that, but
And as soon as the last boy emerges from the flames, coated in his new burns, Pozar puts his hands resting at his side, and the fire dims. Ladies and gentlemen, face your new generation of warriors. And he gestures to the crowd, and the uproarious applause and the lights, the fire themselves begin to dance even higher as the lights start to flicker, and the drums and the music start to play at an all-time high as they crescendo, as the 8 surviving members all stand there stoic yet hurt. Something has changed deep within their eyes, but they are now Fire Guard warriors. And as such, the warriors return to their families, and the people of Sko-Tua discuss amongst themselves the events that transformed their boys into warriors, and thus the ceremony is over, and people start to fade out one by one as you on look possibly horrified, possibly not, depending on your outlook on life.
So, Roku, going armorless now.
I don't know. It feels right. That armor was the old me.
Constricting, demonic, otherworldly, slightly evil. Wasn't it cursed?
It
Is it
was.
still cursed?
No.
I want to approach the Mr. Chief man.
You walk up behind him, and as you start to speak, he turns around, like very obviously exhausted from the events that transpired tonight.
What a ceremony. I'm sorry that you lost those that you did.
They came from the elements, and they returned to them. They are not lost. They make up the flames that will give the future Fire Guard their test. And he gestures to the bonfire that's slowly dying out.
Strength prevails.
Precisely.
So, okay, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really pushy, but have you talked to the fire spirit since last we've talked?
We have communed over different matters, but I do suppose I could once again commune and try to discover how to get you onto your path of becoming one of us.
Thank you, sir.
Stop in again. Maybe tomorrow morning, sometime before the assault. I'll tell you what I see. I'll assign you of your task.
Sounds perfect.
I'm afraid I must now get rest, as this was spiritually exhausting.
Makes sense. You've been prepping for this all day.
Perhaps one day I'll be prepping for your own test.
I can only hope.
He returns to himself, sort of dismissing you.
So, we heading off for Sarask?
That's plan.
Yes.
We gonna hike the long way, or we gonna take that portal?
Well, I suppose we should take the portal. However, Dante didn't really tell us how.
That's true.
Well, it's here on the map.
I suppose we can go look.
Oh, is it just like a we'll know it when we see it thing, or?
I hope so. Otherwise, we'll have to teleport and hope for the best.
Have you ever been to Sarask?
Not even close. I've seen it as we passed by in the ship.
Maybe we can teleport to the shore, along where.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, well, on the map it's about northeast of here by like. Does this place run on like miles or?
Well, the imperial measurement is used with feet and whatnot throughout. So I would assume miles. Yeah, that would.
Do we know like in inches, like 1 mile on the map, or like?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
You don't have an exact unit. In fact, with cartography in its infancy as it is now, you don't know if the maps are even accurate to like the scale of how far travel is or how far apart they are. It's just a pretty
That's
good
fair.
guess.
Well, from the looks of it, it should be like the base of the closest mountain.
Yes, well, let's go. And I
So-
lead the way.
I want to make a note
Northeast.
that I kept the
Right.
mechanism for my spring blade. It's not
Okay.
functional, but I kept it so I can reuse it.
Or I have an idea. As I look at how I can access the Shadow Crossing, if it's not just a portal there.
Is
And I
there
hold
a
up the
shadow
watch.
crossing setting on there, or a shadow fell crossing?
When we walk in,
Setting.
we'll look through the portal watch to see if there's a Shadowfell dial. Or a Shadowfell setting.
Are you moving through the dial?
Yeah.
Yes, there is indeed a Shadowfell setting.
Yes. I'll try it when we get there, I guess.
Set off.
Alright. Hiking towards the mountain. I need to be done by midnight.
As you start to move towards, like, as you start to exit the bleacher-like area, you see a large mass with weird pink splotches that sort of blends in with the night, but has very specifically one arm coated in all these tattoos as it carries around a hammer slinking in its hand, as this cat-like creature blending in with the night looks over. Bloody
Hi.
hell, I did not expect to see you all here. Good to see you again. And he starts to walk over towards you all.
Oh. It's
Big.
The
It's been a
cat.
bit.
Yes, did you watch the ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went through the ceremony myself, but about a month ago, 3 weeks, something of the sort.
Has it really been that long?
Oh,
Time
yes.
flies.
It has been a while since we were in Sko-Tua.
It's been a bit. Say, what are you guys doing here anyways?
Rallying the forces to take on the demons in Sarask.
Right, Bozar told me about such a thing. I meant more, what are you doing right now? Could we catch
Going
up?
to scout out Sarask, but we can catch up.
Perhaps I could buy you some drinks in the local tavern.
I don't know if we have time, Big.
What sort of rush are you in?
Well, you've been noticing that there's been more and more demon activity.
Of course, my troop ran into a bit of trouble today. We lost a guy because of it.
Well, I pat my hip. Well, we resolved that for you.
Yes, I keep a few of those at home myself.
Oh. The guard. Oh, well. So we're kind of going to Sarask to scope things out before the big attack. The fire guard and some Shadowfell warriors are going to
I
repel.
doubt you're going to make it to Sarask in a couple days before the attack.
Well,
moving through the Shadowfell is much faster.
we have a portal system.
Ah, the what now?
You
The-
you did like the like you knew.
You had me at portal. The Shadowfell is not familiar.
It's a realm outside of our own.
So different.
You move through
Playing
that
the
realm, it's
resistance.
much faster than moving here.
Right, you folks have been busy since you've been gone. I see. Well, where is this shadow at?
Should be around the base of the mountains.
Yes, do you know where you're going?
Go through the portal,
This would be
Head.
our first time.
what we think is north.
I'll lead the way. I know the bottom of these mountains into Sko-Tua. I've ventured there many a times.
We'd appreciate it.
He starts walking. He goes, actually, yes, I had to go to the bottom of these mountains to receive my task to become a fire guard officially. You
I'm
see,
curious.
there was a... Yes, you want to know what my task was?
Yes.
There was a large worm burrowing through the earth. And I heard this and I say, worm? I can crush worm beneath my foot. Unfortunately, the worm was bigger than I thought, a lot bigger. In fact, its face was about the size of my whole body, and I am a large man. So I ended up fighting the worm, and I ended up killing it, but it was none too easy. It was not your average giant worm. You see, it had tentacles sticking out of its face, and it had these teeth that almost acted as a drill into my head. It was horrific. But, of course, I did it. I hit it with the hammer, and it stopped moving, as all things do eventually. But yes, it was very successful, and I learned a lot, and I brought back a small trophy, and then I was, given to the initiation, and I passed, and luckily, and here we are now.
Strength prevails.
But of course, you seem to have a sort of good idea. You seem to be pretty on to what the fire guard are on about. Are you sure you don't want to come aboard and join our ranks?
I'm sure. We're very similar, but I'm sure.
Well, all right.
I'm thinking about it.
Funny. You make the good jokes, little one. I remember that about you. And he keeps walking.
Oh, well, okay. Pozar recommended me out of the group if any of us were to become one with the fire guard. But
Right, I'm sure.
okay. Missed you too, big guy.
Sometimes Pozar goes to the runt of the litter when they are born, and he say, "You are going to be a big, strong warrior like me someday."
We get sweetie.
We take
See the runt of the
pity
litter.
on them. Yes, well,
Myself. Yeah, I can see that.
it makes them feel better about themselves. Gives them something to strive for before they inevitably, get eaten by something bigger and more powerful out in the wild.
I kind of pat Sweetie on the back and laugh at him.
I'm just gonna look down at my red ring. No, that not gonna be an asshole. Not gonna be an asshole.
Good.
After about 2 hours of walking, you get to you see these mountains rise, and as you get to the foot of them, you notice that there are just a bunch of trees at the foot of this mountain, and he takes you over to this small tree line and says, "Well, this is where the map is pointing you." I don't suppose you know where to go now?
I see anything with true sight?
Yes, with your true sight, you scan the tree line, and you notice that there are two trees that sit next to each other, perfectly parallel to one another, and the shadow from the moon goes both ways in opposing directions, and it makes this particular area darker than any other place in the forest, and it gives off this weird shimmer as you look at it.
I think that's it there. And I approach it.
You walk over to it, and you all see as Roku gets closer, it starts to swirl this black and gray energy a bit more, providing a sort of archway that leads into presumably another dimension.
Thanks, Big.
I shall see you all later. Hopefully still alive. The little one. And he starts to walk away.
Yes.
I might call him out at the ceremony. If I become a fire guard, I'm calling him out.
Yes, you become a fire guard.
Why would you want to be a fire guard? You could just serve court. Same thing. Better, honestly.
Or Celestian. Better than quarter for me.
False.
Truth.
So, do we just walk through, and I'm just gonna like go right through it and see it?
As you all just step through into the darkness, that is where we will pick up next time on Dungeons and Dragons.